ကဲချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ရေဟိုင်းနဲ့ဟိုင်းမှာညီကိုတို့ဟိုင်းမှာခင်ဗျာဟိုင်းမှာချင်းကြီးကိုရေညာပတ်ကြီးကေဝေဘလူးရသွားလဲတဲ့ကိုနိုင်ဟွာတဲ့တယောက်ရသွားတာဗျဟောရောညီကိုတို့အိပ်ပျော်သွားလားဒီ live မြန်မာပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official တိလားမြန်မာလို cast တာမတွေ့လို့ပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official အင်္ဂလိပ်လိုတွေကြီးပဲတွေ့လို့ဒိုင်ကိုသွားတာရယ်ဟာရှောအဲ့လောက်ကြာမပြောတော့ဘူးလေလို့ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ရဲ့ဟိုင်းမှာချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ရေပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official မတွေ့ဘူးနော်ရောက်ပါပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official အင်္ဂလိပ်လိုတွေကြီးပဲရောမြန်မာမတွေ့ဘူးနော်ပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official ပျောက်နေဘယ်ပျောက်သွားတာတော့မပြောတော့ဘူးစိတ်ကောက်သွားပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official မတွေ့ဘူးလို့တကယ်ပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာ official မတွေ့ရချင်းကြီးနေရတယ်ဒါမှအင်းအင်္ဂလိပ်လိုကြီးပဲအင်္ဂလိပ်လိုကြီးပဲကွာပတ်ကြီးမြန်မာကတ်စတာတွေပါရဟာရှိရကွာဘယ်ရောက်သွားလဲမသိဘူးမြန်မာပါရဟာရှိပါတယ်ဘယ်ရောက်သွားတော့ EN Esport World Cup EWC ဒါဖိလစ်ပင်း UR NP ရဲ့ Global Series ရဲ့မြန်မာကဘာလို့လို့ကြောက်နေမြန်မာမတွေ့ဘူးလို့မြန်မာမတွေ့ဘူးလို့မပြောတော့ဘူးနော်ဒီမှာ EN ကွာ EN ကြီးပဲတွေ့နေတယ်မြန်မာတော့ဘူးလို့မြန်မာအဖမြန်မာရောလို့ဟုတ်ပါအောင်ချင်းကြီးတို့မြန်မာလေးဝိုင်းချပေးကြပါအောင်တည့်ရသူရှိရင်ဘိုင်ကူအားရဆိုရင်စားတာဘောလို့မပြောတော့ဘူးလို့ဘိုင်မကူပါဘူးလို့ကိုကျော်တို့ဘယ်ရသားကြည့်ရဟုတ်တယ်ဟုတ် EN ကပဲသွားကြည့်ရကွာဒီစစ်ဟာကြည့်ရအဲ့လိုမျိုးကလွှင့်လို့မရဘူးလေတိုင်းရွက်အဲ့လိုမျိုးတွေ့လို့ချင်းဖေးစစ်ဟာကြီးကိုငါပြောက်ချင်းဖေးစစ်ကြီးဖေးစစ်ရဲ့ခွင့်ပြုချက်မရပဲငါပြောက်လို့ချင်းဖေးစစ်ငါလာထိုးမှာဘောလို့တိုင်းရွက်ကလည်း
Walls Esports Nongshim Red Force Tianba Dopeness Mercer Crew. Alpha 7. Arena. Godlike Esports.
ဒီစစ်ခွင့်ပြုချက်မရှိဘဲနဲ့ပြားလို့မရဘူးညီကိုရဲ့အဲ့ဒါ
721 GS
အဲ့ထဲကသူ့အကုန်ငါအကိုတွေကြီးပဲအဲ့ထဲကသူတွေအကုန်လုံးငါအကိုတွေကြီးစားတာဟောအဲ့ဒါကြီးကဲ let's go ဝိုင်းကြီးပွဲလေးတူတူကြီးကြမယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
S2G Esports. Hora Esports. And finally, your defending PMWC champs, Yangon Galactico.
ဟိုင်းတို့တာကြီးတို့ဒါပဲတွေ့လား
After just 6 games, the top 5
အဲ့ဒါပဲ
will
အများကြီးမ
get
လို့
into
အဲ့
the
ဒါပဲလို့
finals. Some will survive, and the bottom 3 will see the key sent to the crusher.
The level of competition on this stage is staggering. This isn't luck, it's instinct, it's preparation, and it's synergy. It's time for Group B to come to a close. Let's find out who has what it takes.
ဒီမှာမြန်မာ live လေး
16
ရှာလာအောင်
teams
မ
have
ဖြစ်ဘူး
patiently waited on the sidelines for their chance to shine.
အမြန်မာလိုက်ရှာလုံးဝမတွေ့ဘူးလို့မပြောတော့ဘူးလို့
Dia City Grid.
It is time to introduce our team.
ကဲဒီပွဲမှာတော့ YG ဒါ top 5ထဲဝင်သွားမှာလား YG top 5ထဲဝင်သွားမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ဆင်ပြေသွားပြီပေါ့နော်
Team Vitality.
အေးနော်
Finally, your defending champions of PMWC.
Yo,
Yangon
hold it, lo.
Galacticos.
Oh
Day
shit
3 of the PMWC group stage at EWC 2026 starts right now.
ညတီးအောင်မှာညကြရင်တီးအောင်မှာညကြရင်တီးအောင်မှာ
Back-to-back blows taken their way. Vitality trying to win out versus
ညကြရင်တီးအောင်မှာပါခင်ဗျာ
Yangon left with just smile, but that might turn into a frown if they can get the
ကဲ
angle.
smile အမ4% ဆိုရင်ပြပြသွားလားအဲ့နေရာလေးမှတ်မိလားညီကိုလာမယ်ဗျာတဲ့
Good work
ဆရာကြီးတွေထွက်လာပြီဟုတ်တယ်အမ4% 1စမိုင်းပြပြသွားမိုက်တွေရောအမ
Now look for one more.
ချိုးလာအမ4% ဆိုရင်ကျုံးပြသွားတာလား
1v4
ကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့တကယ်ကွာတကယ်ကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့စမိုင်းကြီးပါချင်းကြီးကိုလို့ရာ
Spy. Close quarters engagement as Vitality look to hold on. No fear down. More damage done. Last left alive here, an incredible player on 9 elims this game. It's a hard fight though, a 1 versus 2. Molotov goes long, he runs straight into it though.
ဆဲလေးရှဲလေးနဲ့အားပေးသွားလို့ရပါတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုလို့
Out for Axel soon. Oh, that's the Nate to do it as Hora. They lay claim to the second chicken dinner.
ကိုနိုင်လိုပဲပြပြသွား
For 7 fans in the house. But let's see if Alpha 7 can bring the thunder on the close quarters engagement. Goodbye Milu as Tiamba get hit by the front of the vehicle. Quick flicks coming out from A7.
A7 အမ A7 နဲ့အမ YG တက်လာတစ်ဖက်က YG ကိုငါလုံးမပြစ်ကြသွားမပြောတော့ဘူး
Ooh, and that's exactly what's happening because you got another camp.
live stream အံ့ပေးပါဦးနဲ့မေးပြလိုက်ပါအောင်ဘလို့ live stream အံ့မှာတော့လို့
It's a back-to-back chicken dinner on the side of Nongshim Red Force.
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the
And that's
and
it.
burn yourself down to the ground because Vitality live on.
ပြရင် YG လို့ဆိုတယ်ငါလို့လည်းချစ်လို့ဆဲတာတဲ့ငါပြလို့ရှိရင် YG ရှုံးနေတော့
A shot
ဘာကြောင့်လဲတော့မသိဘူးရောအဲ့ဒါကြီးကတော့
8 points in 6 matches.
Oh yes, oh yes. Another day of competition here as things
Ah,
get
yeah,
going.
when you
Hodgins
show
in the
my-
building
yeah.
right next to me, and of course it's me, Jackie Powers in the commentary booth. And we're going to be getting loose and waxing lyrical today, Jukes, because we get some more teams.
ဒီနေ့မပြလို့မရဘူးလားမတိုက်ကြည့်လိုက်ဒီနေ့ငါပြရင်နိုင်မှာတိုက်လို့
About big plays.
နိုင်မှာတိုက်လို့
Yesterday was
ဟိုနေ့ကိုအားပေးကြတယ်ဟာမေးပေးလိုက်ပါအောင် grand final မှာပြပါလား
Only word I can say. The question is who's getting second place today, right? Yeah, who's getting second place? Who's getting into the top 5? Because you want to punch that ticket straight to the finals. No messing around today.
No, man. It's gonna be big.
sorry
It's
sorry
gonna be
ချင်းကြီးကိုချောင်းစိုးနေ
exciting.
လို့
You know, back when we got into Group A, right?
ဒီနေ့ဝိုင်းကြီး top 5ထဲဝင်မှာကွာမင်းကြည့်လိုက်ဝိုင်းကြီးလည်းတော့ top 3ကိုရောက်မှာ
We're accumulating over such a short space of time.
တတိရှိရင်ဘောက်ပြစ်မလားတဲ့ဘယ်တော့မှမချစ်တော့သေးတယ်ဟာအဲ့လိုကြီးကြတော့
Yesterday, man.
Dude, I mean, it's like everything went
Like you got
just
my bill,
in a
look.
wild situation. We had a world record-breaking game number 1. Almost every single circle the entire day was
Yo, hey.
ridiculous, right? And then even with a 39-point game in day 1, that's not the team that's at the top of the leaderboards here. It's just unreal. That's the only way I can say it. Is like, what else? I mean, what else could you possibly ask for?
What more could we want? What more could these teams
တို့စောင့်နေတဲ့ Wi-Fi လေးများခိုးပြလိုက်ခိုးပြကြမလားဖြတ်လို့မရဘူးလေသူတို့က
get out of the game, but we were pushing.
နောက်ကကြိုးရင်းနဲ့သွားတာနောက်ကကြိုးရင်သွားဖြတ်မှပဲရ
So crazy to see a team. 4 Thrives in Group A did so well. Right? They
ဘယ်လိုတတိထားမိလား
and they almost got passed up in points in just one single day, right? So we're going into day 2 here. A lot, yeah, it's time to say your prayers.
Bro, tadi
Really
hami
make
lah.
sure you are locked in, meditate, and focus because getting into that grand finals here and now is so critical because of those point sponges. We're going to see most likely some monster squads in that survival stage.
Oh, we are indeed. We are indeed.
ပတ်တီမှာဘလို့ဆော့ဆော့ကွာပတ်တီမှာလိုင်းလုံးဝကြားတယ်ဆိုတာမရှိဘူးပလီယာတွေ mobile legend လိုမျိုးငါတို့ faster ရတာမျိုးမရှိဘူးကွာသိလား
Strong enough. We'll go right through here from Group B, joining some of the best from Group A. And then again, Jukes, we've got to crush those keys and say bye-bye to 3 of our squads.
Ooh, yeah, 3 teams going home today. So you got to make sure
တဲလေး share လေးနဲ့အားပေးပါလို့ရပါရင်တော့ချင်းကြီးကိုတွေ
But it's time, folks. Here we go. Match number 1.
တော့လက်ကျိုးသွားပြီးရမနေ့ကဘောကန်ဖြစ်သွားတာဟာ
Group B and our group stage. Let's get it going.
Is that all we got, Paris? Can we get a little bit louder than that?
Let's go.
There we go. Get fired up in the building. Live from EWC 26 for PMWC as we get into our opening game.
And it's none other than Rondo. All I know is that now
ဘယ်လိုလက်ကျိုးရလဲအဲ့လိုကြီးကြတော့ဂိမ်းတန်ကျဲနေလားဆောင်းဝမ်းကဲပထမဆုံး match တွေကတော့လာပြီပေါ့နော်ချင်းကြီးကိုတွေ ပထမဆုံး match တွေကတော့လာပါပြီခင်ဗျာ
A 39-point game ever, right? But who knows?
History.
1 second ပါလား1 second ပါလေးသားကြီး
History. But
Sub
let's see
title
what's
နေနဲ့
gonna
ဟို
happen
ပါ
here
သွားတာ
today.
ဆိုအရန်လူပေါ့နော်
I wonder which
မင်းတို့လိုပဲလေအရန်လူပေါ့
Group A, we saw some squads find
တည်နေသူတွေလိုပဲအရန်လူပေါ့သားကြီးအရန်လူနေနဲ့ပါသွားတာ
right? So I wonder if we're going to see that here. I wonder what's on the mindset of Team Vitality today because they're a lock, right? They're going to the grand finals. Today could be a great day for them to make some tweaks, some adjustments, even take some risks, right? Like, hey, this is our weakness. Let's work on it here and now so that way we're prepped, ready, so we can get that big $1.7 million prize pool in the finals.
For some of our sides that struggled yesterday, can they come alive even more? We're straight into it with a classic battle. Neox starts
Okay, let's
us
go.
off as the shots are coming through.
ဟာအမှငိုတန်းနဲ့
Swinging the blade immediately there, mate.
ချိုးမလေးဂိမ်းပြန်ပလေးနေပြီနော် ရုံးလို့ပြီးတာအဲဘာပါလဲ
We got the Wolves who were able in the
Buma.
final games yesterday to push themselves
A7
above that bottom.
ပလေယာရောရှိနေတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ဟာလိုင်းကြသွားပါတယ်မေးပြီးလိုက်ပါအောင်ညောင်နေလိုင်းမကြနဲ့
Facing some titans in this lobby. You got ETSH. That's a
ဟာရောက်
that needs
ဟာ
to put something in here. Now you got EA as well.
ဟာဝိုင်းကြီးရှော့ကုန်ပြီ
Happening all over the place, and they got to happen here pretty quickly because this is a very southern circle.
ဟာဝိုင်းကြီး1 man alive ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ ဟာရောက်
Tiny angle, but oh, that one was a good one.
ဝိုင်းကြီး1 man alive ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ညီကိုတို့အောက်မှာ EA ဖွဲ့လဲတော့ချောက်တော့ပါကုန်ပြီဟာရောက်ရေးမေးပြီးလိုက်ပါအောင်လို့
Having a bit of a struggle starts there.
ဘရိုးတဲ့ခင်ဗျာပြောပါခင်ဗျာဒါကြီးတို့
Early point.
ဟာရောက်ဝိုင်းကြီး1 man alive ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ဗျ
TT happy to.
John,
take
remember,
the
let's see
duel
A7.
comfortably. 3 elim points to start.
A7 ဒါကြီး4 man alive ပဲ
Rondo's Rondo, so don't worry. There'll
Oh,
be a lot
shit.
more action yet to come.
Oh yeah, non-stop action here. You can see 721
မပြောတော့ဘူးနော်
getting a knock there onto ETSH. That's actually a very important fight here because oh wow, there we go. Fahida turning up.
What's up,
the
man?
heat, making
ဘရို
us
ညက
proud.
ဂေဝေးပေါက်တာ
You
မ
can
သိ
see down on the bottom
မ
left
သိရ
Alpha 7
ဟာ
Always
ဗဒါ
so
သားတို့
hyped,
မန်ချင်းတွေပါ
excited
ခေါ်ပြီး
for
ပြော
their
ပေးရ
team here. They're not too far
Kiwi
away from that top
Kiwi
five.
ဗရာသာအမှအကြောင်းမပြန်လို့ဆိုပြီးကျွန်တော်မှလူဘယ်နှစ်ယောက်တောင်လဲမသိစကစ်ကတာ
He's got that.
6ယောက်9ယောက်လောက်ရှိရ
He's
စကစ်ကတာ
ready for it. Oh, he's on the wide open though. He's got to be careful. Never mind. Rehan said, let's go find another angle.
တောက်လျှောက်ပဲတက်လာဘူးတော့လုံးနေနေပဲဒီဘက်မှာလဲကျွန်တော် GS player တယောက်နှောက်အားခဲ့ပြီ Easter တော့6ပဲ live ပြထားနေပဲ GS player က2ယောက်တိနှောက်နေပြီဆိုတဲ့ချိန်နေမှာကျွန်တော် Easter နောက်တဲ့ GS player တယောက်ကိုထပ်ပြီးပဲရှော့သွားနိုင်အောင်မလားကောင်းလိုက်တာဟေ့အောင်ရေး GS နှောက်နေတဲ့သူ့ player ကိုတော့တိုင်း smoke တွေပါခင်းပြီးတော့ပြန်ဆေးဖို့တော့လုပ်နေတယ်ဗျ
The top ropes able to hit that shot and save his squad. So 721 GS should be able to get.
အကြီးတယောက်ပဲကျွန်တော်ဟုတ်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ recall ပါတယ် recall ပါတယ်
quick on that.
recall ပါတယ်ချင်းကြီးကို recall ပါတယ်နော်
Messing around here.
10နာရီခွဲပဲလေ brother ကျွန်တော်10နာရီခွဲပဲတက်လာလေ live stream က
Up and good to go.
Minya.
Young Galacticos only have that single player up.
ည10နာရီကျွန်တော်တို့လေ10နာရီခွဲကနေ17နာရီအဲ့ဒီကြားထဲဖောက်ဝေးမယ်ဆိုပြီးပြောတာလေညီကိုတို့အဲ့မှာ live stream မစောင့်နေကြဘဲနဲ့အိတ်သွားကြပြီးတော့မပြောတော့ဘူးနော်မစားလို့အိတ်လိုက်တာပါအဲ့ညဖောက်မယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်ပြောခဲ့လေ brother တို့အိတ်လိုက်တာပါ
Wondering, I was like, where is he? And it looks like that's actually something we should actually take a look at.
လိုက်စရင်သွားပြန်ကြည့်ညီကိုဟုတ်လို့လားတဲ့လိုက်စရင်သွားပြန်ကြည့်ချင်းညီကိုမင်းည live stream ရှိရလေ
And that would be a devastating loss for Young Galacticos to go out right here, considering
Yeah.
they're right there on that cutoff.
A7 ပုံမှန် alive နဲ့ပဲ YG one man alive တိုက် total K point 2 point တော့ဒီ match မှာတော့ total K point နှစ်မှတ်တော့ဗောနော်နှစ်မှတ်တော့ရလာတယ်ဗျဟုတ်တယ်ဟာကဲဒီမှာလဲ vitality ဘိုင်ဆာလို့ထားအောင်မှာလဲကားနဲ့ထပ်တိုးလာအနေနဲ့ vitality နဲ့ K point တော့တော့ချာနေမှာ vitality player တယောက်တော့နှော်သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျနောက်မှာ1 player ထပ်ပြောဝေလာတယ်မှာ1နဲ့ vitality နဲ့နဲငယ်လေးတော့ထိတွေ့တွေတော့ပြည့်နေပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ vitality player တယောက်စောင်းနေမချော်ခန်းနေနဲ့ပဲ vitality player တယောက်ကိုတော့တက်ပြီးအပါခေါ်ထားတယ်ဆိုတော့1 A လောက်ထားဟာ1မင်းတို့လောက်ထားမှရမယ် vitality ကိုမင်းတို့ဖြုတ် vitality 2 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ဗျ YG recall ပြန်ခေါ်လို့ရသေးတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ total K point 2 point တော့ရယူထားတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့
most likely all the way down to Long Ho, and he should be able to get that res for his squad in just a couple of minutes. But this circle is on the south side here. We got Nongshim Red Force all the way in the north. Things are finally starting to settle down a little bit. Actually, never mind. It's the Wolves versus Alpha 7. And Elementrix getting caught out with that nade. Obscure holding this angle, waiting for someone to cross. Oh, but here comes Godlike.
Oh, Godlike got that nice nade off the top side from Adamino. Up close and personal, they're taking the fight to Alpha 7 as well. Battling both of these squads simultaneously.
ကိုကြီးတဲ့ပြောပါခင်ဗျာကျွန်တော်ဟိုဘက်အကောင့်ကအပြားလေးဖြုတ်လိုက်ပြီလားခင်ဗျာမဖြုတ်ရသေးဘူးနဲ့တူတယ်
Wow, throwing that nade up the stairs, catching him off. Necessary's holding those angles. He's doing those tight peaks in a 1v2 situation. It's Godlike, too strong to defeat, and they are looking to be the kings of Neox Factory.
Oh, S-Power's fired up as well, dude. From one fight to the next.
He's like, what's that over there?
Side, dude.
What's over there behind that tree, huh? Throwing them nades. Has he had the arm to get him? That looks good. Ah, it's a little short. Runs out in the open, man. Godlike Esports not playing today.
The flick on that, bro. S-Power's fired up today.
နင်းညာကရန်လျှောက်ထားတဲ့သူတဲ့မဖြုတ်နဲ့တော့ကိုနိုင်နဲ့ Okay
on the side of Godlike that puts them in a good solid position
ကဲလေး share လေး subscribe လေးနမလေးနဲ့အားပေးသွားလို့ရပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
What is that going to look like for these leaderboards? That's going to be a massive gap between 5th and 6th place.
That's the thing, the artificial barrier right now. It's very fine margin, so many point vacuums on towards the top spots. If Godlike can start out and really give himself the best case scenario to bolster their points, could change the flow of things. That's Romeo from Yangon Galacticos, obviously.
Yeah, you see that when they jump out there, come on, man.
Go for the rotate around and get his team back.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You got to make sure you hit that.
ကလန်နဲ့ထည့်ပြီးပါအောင်နဲ့မင်းညာညီ6ထားလေးတဲ့
You got to hit them plays though.
အင်္ဂိမ်းနာမည်ဘာကြီးလဲညီကို C ဟွာလား CG8 ဆိုပြီးတော့ညီကိုမှန်းလာသေးရလားလား
You can see Masco. Oh, got that heal.
တော့ YG ကတော့4 man alive တော့ပြန်ဖြစ်သွားပြီပေါ့နော် recall ပဲတော့ပြန်ခေါ်ထားတော့မဲ့ချင်းညီကို
making it happen. But you know what else? You guys can make it happen in game with the lucky spin that's coming out, guys. Make sure you guys get in there. Hit that draw, and you can get some of those insane.
ဟမ်09 တဲ့ဟဲ့ကိုနိုင်စီမှာမိုးရတော်ရွာနေတယ်ဒီမှာ GS ကတော့ကြောက်ကိုလိုက်ပြုတ်နေရောက်ကြီးဟုတ်တယ်နော် EA ကလည်း4 man alive တော့ပြန်ပြသွားခဲ့ပြီဗျဂူပလေယာတယောက်နော်သွားခဲ့ပြီအောက်မှာလည်းဒါ GS ပလေယာတယောက်နော်သွားပြီဆိုတဲ့ချိန်ဒီမှာတော့ဒါဂူနဲ့ GS တယောက်ချင်းစီတော့ပါခေါ်ထားတယ်ဗျအပေါ်ကြီးကိုတက်သွားတာဘာတက်လောက်တာလဲအဲ့ဒီအပေါ်ကြီးကိုဘာတက်လောက်တာလဲမြန်မာလိုကြီးမင်းကိစ္စကြီးကအဲ့ဒီအပေါ်ကြီးကိုဘာတက်လောက်တာလဲလို့
I mean, I'm sure he had his jump and climb split buttons. Sometimes we have some people combine it, but if you get just a little too close, you get that animation jumping up, and you know he was just like, oh, it's over.
Just so exposed, no chance to fight, bro.
Oh, it's so tough. So tough. But you know what? That is great on the side of Godlike. So they take full advantage of it. Now we're seeing the zone pop dead center here. As TT Project
နင်းညတီတီမှာလာပြောထားရလေဗျာကိုကြီးကိုပြောထားလားတို့ပြောထားလေအော်နာရောက်ရေးတီတီဟာရောက်အဖက်ကြီးကဟုတ်တယ်ဟာ
and Jim does have an angle but they should be able to get to safety. Oh, no fear, never mind. Yeah, no fear on the other end. He's going to go ahead and get his revenge for his teammate there and take out 2 on the side of TT Project.
Yeah, this is far more awkward.
အလူကိုရောပြောထားတယ်တဲ့ okay ပါ okay ပါချင်းကြီးကိုသူနိုးလို့ရှိရင်မေးကြည့်လာအောင်မယ်ဆရာသမားအိပ်ပျော်နေရလားဘာလားမသိခုချိန်ဒီကိုကြီးကိုစားမပြန်ဘူးလို့မပြောတော့ဘူး
Too shallow, few more left in the inventory though. They can try and hold him back for at least a few more seconds. But they're the ones that are at panic stations. Aura waiting for the opportunity to strike.
Uh-oh.
F is so low off the engage. Effect though, reels them in. He's looking for the flush on it as well.
ဒါလေး share နဲ့အားပေးလို့ရရင်တော့ချင်းကြီးကို TTF အဆက်လုပ်ထားအောင်ပါလေကျော်ဒီဘက်မှာလည်း horror နော်နေတဲ့ player တယောက်ကိုတော့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ save ထားတော့မယ်ဗျအောက်မှာတီ horror 2ယောက်စီကိုတော့တောက်လျှောက်တော့တက်သွားတယ်ဆိုရင်လည်းဒါကြီးပြတော့ပြခွဲထားသေးတယ် horror အောက်မှုဆိုမဲ့ပေါ်စီကနေပြန်ပြထားပြီး TTF player တယောက်တော့နော်သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျနောက်မှာ TTF player တယောက်ထပ်ပြီးပြခွဲထားနေမှာ horror 1 man alive TT တစ်ဆက်ကွာလုံးဒေါင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီဗျ wolf တစ်ဆက်ကွာလုံးဒေါင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ရေ အော် TT နဲ့ wolf နှစ်ဆက်ကွာလုံးတော့ဒေါင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီ YG လက်ရှိမှာတော့ဗတ် YG ဗတ်ဖြစ်နေတာကိုမပြပါဘူးတဲ့ငါလို့ဓမ္မပဲဟေး
That's the worst case scenario for this lobby because that's really like the only slot.
YG ဗတ်ဖြစ်နေတာကိုမပြပါဘူးတဲ့
How well these other teams did. And Godlike are looking to close the door here nice and early, saying, you know what, if you want to try to get into the finals, you're going to need to win at least a couple games because we got such a point lead. And that is how you start it there. 8 eliminations.
That is sharing it. I'll be all the way. No,
Oh, Romeo. Sky, run for your life. Drive away. And it looks like he is going to barely escape that one.
ငါတကယ်စိတ်ညစ်လာပြီလို့ငါစတွင်းစားပြီဆိုရင်ဓာလာဝဲသူနဲ့ UC လာဝဲသူနဲ့မပြောတော့ဘူးနော်
He was looking right at the sky there, and that is.
ငိုချင်လာပြီတော့တကယ်ငါစတွင်းစားပြီဆိုတကယ်ငိုချင်လာပြီကားမှန်ရဲ့တရားလုံး
Galacticos gonna actually get into this next game as the circle shifts up to the north side now. They are in the blue. This is still stage 3. They can eat a little bit of this circle for now, but it's time to finally find out where that next spot's gonna be.
ဒီပဲအခု give လိုက်မယ်နော်
It's a bit more uncomfortable for Horror then, as they do get away with only that duo, and this could potentially be an even more uncomfortable entry back over towards the zone as they've got to bypass Alpha 7.
ဒီပဲ give လိုက်ပြီ
Jumps out
ဒီပဲ give လိုက်ပြီ
good shot from range, consistent with the orb to set down another one.
ကတ်ဟဲကိုတစ်ချက်ဝင်ကြည့်လိုက်တော့
Gets out. 9 elims might be where they reach and end this one.
Man, this whole tournament has been so chaotic.
ဘောရှော့ဘေးနားမှာကတ်ရှိရလေကွာ
I want to avoid the survival stage at all costs. Yeah, it's 6 teams out of 16.
ဟာဘယ်လိုတော့မှလဲဆိုကိုကြီးပြပြမယ်
Stage.
ကိုပြပြမယ်ကတ်ဟဲဝင်လိုက်ကတ်ဟဲဝင်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်ကိုကြီးလိုက်တဲ့အတိုင်းလိုက်နေတော့
I'm talking to you, Alpha 7.
Come on.
Meanwhile, Team Vitality.
ပလေးကူပါတယ် ground ဆိုအဲ့ဓာကတ်ကိုနှိပ်လိုက်
They do it again.
ไอ้ไทยงูยิงว่าไทยเนี่ยชื่ออะไร
So strong yesterday. Gonna go out early here. They didn't get 4
Good night.
eliminations. Realize that they can
ဓာကတ်ကိုနှိပ်လိုက်သေးလား
Yeah, this is a quiet one for them.
နှိပ်ပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီမှာ ဒါကရဲ့ထုတ်မှာဗတဲ့
On the
ပတ်
other
ဆိုတဲ့
side
နေ
of
မှာ
the
စတင်လေးရှိရ
spectrum,
တွေ့
right?
လား
Yes, Vitality, our top dogs.
ကျော်
They're
ဘယ်ဘက်တောင်းလေးမှာ
looking
ဘယ်ဘက်တောင်းလေးမှာ
climbing
တွေ့လား
up from the depths. This is now 11 eliminations they've picked
အဲ့ဒါ
up.
လေးမသိလားအဲ့ဒီအမှစကူတော့ဖွင့်တာ
Threshold so far, Jukes. Maintain this.
ပေါ်လာနှစ်ခုတော့ပေါ်လာရဲ့နှစ်ခုတော့အနေပဲလောက်လိုက်
Perfect start.
အော် KD ရထွက်နေကွာဘုံကြီးသက်စင်
And considering that it's in Rondo, right?
ပြောလေညီလေးတကင်းတို့ဆိုင်ကိုကြီးဒီမှာဟိုဒါဟိုဖြစ်နေတယ်
Day one, and they're doing it, right? I mean, double
Abida.
digit elimination.
ဟောဒီမှာကိုကြီးဆက်ထွင်းနေနေလို့
about just getting into that end game.
ပါလွင့်နေအောင်လို့ပါလာမယ်အဲ့ပါလောက်နေအောင်အဲ့ပါလေရိုးလောက်နေရလား
မဟုတ်ဝိုင်းကြီးပွဲကြည့်နေတာ
Right, Dopeness have not
အော်
done
ဒါပဲ
anything
ဝိုင်း
so
ပွဲ
far.
လာနေပြီမေးနေ
ဟုတ်တယ်
They really haven't, and Dopeness as well. You know, you're down to just the
Okay.
ကိုညီလေးသာမကြောက်ဘူးကိုကြီးဒီမှာမိုးရေတော်ရွာနေတာတကင်းတို့ဆိုင်
ဟုတ်တယ်ကိုဒီမှာတော့ရွာပြီးသွားပြီဗီဒီယိုတင်ဦးလားကိုဗီဒီယိုမတင်ဘူးလားကျွန်တော်ဘယ်နေ့တင်ပေးရမလဲဗီဒီယို
ရညီလေးအဆင်ပြေမနေ့ကညီလေးအဆင်ပြေနေတင်လိုက်လေကိုကြီးလည်းတင်လိုက်မယ်လေအဲ့ဒီလောက်ပြီးရနဲ့
အင်းညာနေညာနေလို့ညီလေးကလည်းအမှန်ပဲမနေ့ကတင်နေတာဗျာ တပတ်ကလောက်မှတင်လိုက်မယ်ကို
ရတပတ်ခါကိုကြီးလည်းတပတ်ခါတင်လိုက်မယ်လေရတော့
Looking at their numbers,
ဟုတ်ပြီကို
အနေပဲတောင်းလာမယ်နော်
getting tons of
Why you waiting to
eliminations,
drop me down,
zero placement points, very low on that.
Why you
end.
waiting to drop me down,
And so
that?
I want to see them get into finally some late games and show
ကို
what
ကြီးမ
they
ရောက်
can
ကို
do.
ကြီးမ
ဝို
ရောက်
င်းဝဲသွားကြည့်လာမယ်နော်ဒါဝိုင်းဝဲသွားကြည့်လာမယ်
A few teams just do something
Go
so
Tom, look.
insane, right? It's wild to see what happened yesterday. But today's a new day.
လက်ဆောင်ရတာ
Another
မို့
team
အား
that
ကြော
I
င့်မို့
want to see make something happen is Tianba, right? I expected a lot from this squad, and now they are still very far down the leaderboard. You can see them pushing into that circle from the south side. Let's see if they can make it up here in Rondo.
ကိုနိုင်နဲ့ရွှေတာ9000မှာချင်းကြီး9000မှာခင်ဗျာ
Their eyes might be lighting up off the back of the. They're all parachuting back in relatively close by. Could be a chance for those three to fight with the arena in close proximity, but Tianba are in the move, back in towards the zone. Godlike not far out with Manya. Just up on the ridge side there, supported by the rest of the crew. It was a bumpy early game for Yangon, but after that recall, they've been pretty comfortable, at least on their rotation path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it worked out well for them, especially considering that they were pretty late in this game because of that recall. It took a long time. But, you know, that's the way this game works. Sometimes those circles just shift and the fights happen in such a perfect way where you're able to sneak your way into zone pretty clear. It doesn't happen often, so when it does, you got to take advantage of it. And no better place to happen, honestly, in Rondo, right? The game where you can end up with 39 points.
It's all about those big finishes. Curious if there's a chance we get a bit of an extension into each other there with Dopeness right on top of Smile. He's the one player that's fragmented off from the 1-3 split they've currently got going. SayCloud further out doing a bit of scouting as well. This is the establishing shot for Tianba and Godlike.
ပြန်လာပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ညီတယောက်တည်းပဲကြည့်တော့တယ်တဲ့
Tianba not so
YG တိုင်း total K point 3 point ဒီတော့ပိုင်ဆိုင်ထားတယ်ဗျကောင်းတယ်နော်ချင်းကြီးကိုတွေ
And hold it good for now. Not a terrible spot in this next zone, not the best either, but this is Tianba after all. Still
Hey, let's
wild
go.
to see them down in 12th place, 24 points, very uncharacteristic and unexpected, at least from a lot of people here. You got QZZ, a superstar that can really ring things out. But all it takes is for a lot of these teams, just one good
Okay,
situation
let's go.
with their backs against the wall and with their
ဒီပွဲကတော့ YG ချိန်နေလေးကောင်းတယ်နော်တာကြီးတို့
would not be shocked with Tianba, who has 0 points right now. They could end up with 20 very easily here.
YG တော့စစ်တော့ရောက်လာခဲ့ပြီရှက်စစ်မှာနော်ညီကိုတို့
72
Let's go ဟုတ်တယ်ညီတယောက်ပဲကြည့်တော့တယ်ကျေးဇူးပါချင်းကြီးကိုတယောက်တည်းကြံတော့တယ်တယောက်တည်းအတွက်ကိုကြီးကတ်သေးမယ်ကွာနော်
Onto Alpha 7. A bit of a back and forth already.
A7 ကျော်1ပလီတယောက်ရှော့ဖို့တော့မြောင်းပါလား
Switching seats and hitting shots as he puts them down, and quite quickly manhandles Dopeness. They do lose Korea though, so it will be a 3-man squad for the A7 crew.
ဒါကြီးမှာ A7 အနေနဲ့ကတော့3 man alive နဲ့ကျော်ရှင်းမှာပဲစမို့တွေပါခင်းပြီးတော့တောက်ချောက်တော့ survive လုပ်နေတော့မယ်ခင်ဗျကားရတော့တောက်ချောက်ကိုတော့ယူထားတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့
This is what we needed to see from A7. 8 eliminations so far. You're right. Yeah, Carrillo did get taken out.
တိုတယ်ကတော့တာကြီးတို့ဟွာတော့ကြံသေးတယ်12သိန်းတောင်ကြံသေးတယ်ဗျ
To take, but job's not done yet. Still a lot more work if you want to make it straight to those finals. And they do get a nice knock there onto Mormon.
Alpha 7 looking like they're starting to hit that high tempo. caught whiff of the arena further back and take pot shots onto them. Meanwhile, before the zone moves, you can see Ida took a few shots over the Hustler crew, and that's the crunch in, Jukes.
That's the crunch in that's going to make things interesting. The circle goes to the north side. That's huge on the side.
ကဲအေးပလီယာနှစ်ယောက်တော့နေတာဒါကြီးဇုံလေးကိုကြည့်ရမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ကျော် YG လက်ရှိမှာတော့ဇုံလေးကတော့တိတ်အလန်းမဝေးဘူးဗျတစ်ဖက်မှာတော့ကျော် Titan တွေတော့ရှိနေတယ် Titan တွေဘာလို့သွားမှာလဲ
The problem is that you're hunting down 5th place. Godlike have 8. So you've only closed that
ကျော်
gap
YG
by 1 point.
Romeo အနေနဲ့ဒါရှေ့ကပလီယာလေးတွေ vision တော့တော့ကြောက်တော့ကြည့်နေတယ်ဗျ
And even then, during the map feed, we could see like they were getting
Jordan
consistent
Ma,
damage back over to
Tyan.
They're not giving up any of this fight. They're still looking like they want to try. They know the win condition, Jukes.
ရှေ့က YG ဘက်ကတော့ Titan တို့အနေနဲ့လမ်းတော့ show နေတယ်
Great day 1.
Titan လောက်ကိုကွာမင်းနော်ဆောက်ခွက်ဖြတ်ရိုက်ဒူးနဲ့တိုက်လို့ရတယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
Right? Especially if you see consistency from those top.
အေးရလက်ရှိ3 man alive တော့ပြန်ဖြစ်နေပြီချင်းကြီးကိုနော်ဒီဝက်7 man လောက်ယူနိုင်တော့ YG မစိုးရအောင်3 man တော့ရပါပြီနော်ချင်းကြီးကို
So for Alpha 7, if you
Granite တစ်လုံးလမ်းပြီးပြတ်ထက်ထားမှာလား
a 10-point game isn't going to be enough. You're going to need a 20 to try and close.
အဲသွေးပါတော့ပြန်တော့ဖြစ်နေတုံးပဲဗျ YG Smile
Three players up. The problem is that Godlike is as well, as so is every team that really matters, because Vitality, no one captured them. They can go out early, but for everybody else still here, it's going to make things interesting.
72-1 GS going in on Alpha 7. They got an opening knock. They want to try and capitalize off it, Jukes. They've swung rounds. That's one tag back over, but it doesn't look like it's going well for the elimination feed right
ကျွန်တော်တို့မှာဂူဖွဲ့ဝင်နေနေလဲကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီမှာ smoke တွေပါတော့ခင်းသားသေးတယ်ဗျ A7 တော့ shot ပဲ A7 1 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
We got it now. You can sequence out, trying to get some shots out range.
ဒါတော့ကွဲဦးတော့များသွားပြီ A7 ကျွန်တော် EA ပလီယာနောက်တစ်ယောက်တော့ထပ်တော့သွားပြန်ပြီညီကို EA 1 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ဗျ ဒါတော့မှ YG တောက်ချောက်ပဲ K point 4 point ဒီကိုရာကြည့်တားတယ်ဆိုတော့ YG
You want some of that action? We'll take some of that as well. And they take them out.
Clean up crew plays. Goodbye, E Arena. See you later, Alpha 7.
အဲ GS ပလီယာနေတော့ရှိသေးတယ်ဗျကောင်းတယ်ရောက်ရေးနော်
It's all kicking off.
YG လက်ရှိမှာတော့ 4 man alive ပဲကျွန်တော်ဒီဘက်မှာ GS ပလီယာတယောက်ကတော့ဖြစ်တော့တော့ထားတော့မယ်
Silenced on the clap back there. Yankon Galacticos.
YG တို့တဲ့ K point 5K ဒီကိုရရှိထားတယ်ဗျကောင်းတယ်ရောက်ရေး9မှတ်ရရှိထားတယ်မ granite ဒီဘက်လန့်တော့ထည့်ထားတော့မယ်ဒီကို smile တော့တဲ့ granite တစ်လုံးတိုက် GS ပလီယာတဲ့ granite အော်မပေါအောင်လားညီကို YG လက်ရှိဒီ 4 man alive တော့ချန်နေတော့မယ်ချင်းညီကိုနော်ကောင်းတယ်ရောက်ရေး smile granite တစ်လုံးပြီးတစ်လုံးလန့်တော့ပြစ်နေတယ်ဒီဘက်မှာ idea အသင်းဘက်ကိုလည်းတိုက် AUG ကို3စားလေးနဲ့တောက်ချောက်တွေလမ်းပြီးတော့ spray နေတယ်ဗျကောင်းတယ်ရောက်ရေးနောက်တစ်ယောက်ထပ်ပြီးတော့ GS တယောက်ကို damage ဒီမှာပေးထားတော့မယ် granite ဒီမှာထပ်ပြောက်ထားအနေနဲ့တိုက်နောက်တော့ granite တစ်လုံးထပ်ပြီးကြောက်အောင်မကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ granite နောက်တစ်လုံးကောင်းလိုက်တာရောက်ရေးကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ granite ကျောင်းသားတိုက်ကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ granite တစ်လုံးပြီးလုံးလမ်းပြီးတော့ကျဲတာပေးနေမယ် GS နှစ်ယောက်ပါထပ်ပြီးရှော့သွားပြန်ပြီညီကိုထောင်းသွားပြီကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ granite တွေပါကွာချင်းကြီးကိုနောက်တဲ့ဇုံတစ်ခုကတော့ထပ်ပြီးတော့စတော့မယ်ချင်းကြီးကို YG စမိုင်းနေတဲ့ first side တွေပါတော့ပြန်တော့ဖြည့်ထားတော့မယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုကောင်းတာရောက်ရေးမေးလိုက်အောင်တိုင်းဒီပွဲမှာတိုးတဲ့ K point 7 man လောက်ထိရထားရင်မစိုးဘူးတော့တိုင်းတို့ခေါ်ရမ်းမရောပြီတိုင်းတို့ဒီမှာချန်ခဲ့တဲ့ GS တယောက်အနေနဲ့ smoke တွေပါပြန်ကင်းမို့တော့လုံနေတယ်ဗျ GS 1 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတွေနော်
Because that was the one slot that looked juicy.
Corner, yo, maybe like
It's long gone. Let's see what Young Galacticos can do though. They're gonna start pushing up on the Masco. Yeah, Masco.
ဟောချောက်ပဲ GS ကျန်ခဲ့ပလီယာနောက်တစ်ယောက်ကိုတော့ထပ်ပြီးတောက်ချောက်ကို live ပစ်ထားတော့မယ်ဗျဟိုတကယ်ကောင်းပါလေကွာအဲ့ဒါကြီးကတော့လုံးမီတစ်လုံးလမ်းပစ်နေတာဟဲ့အောင်ရေးနော်လုံးမီတစ်လုံးလမ်းထည့်နေတာ YG နောက်တစ်ယောက် GS နောက်တစ်ယောက်ကိုဖြတ်ထုတ်တာအနေနဲ့ပဲ YG ညီကိုတို့ share ကိုဖြုတ်နေတာဟဲ့အောင်ရေးကောင်းတာကွာအဲ့ဒါကြီးကတကယ်ကောင်းတာကွာလုံးမလာကြနေပါတယ်တဲ့တကယ်ဖြုတ်နေတာဟဲ့အောင်ရေးမေးပြလိုက်ဟုတ်တကယ်ဖြုတ်နေတာတိုးတဲ့ K point တိုင်းတို့8 point ဒီပါရထားရင်တော့တိုင်းအဲ့မှာလဲဂူအပေါ်က3သိန်း vitality ပါကြောက်သွားပြီဒီဘက် YG ချစ်ကမ်းမဲ့ညီကိုတို့ဟာရနိုင်လာကြနေပါတယ်တဲ့မင်းမေကတ်ဆက် IDA နောက်တဲ့ပလေယာတယောက်ပါတတ်တော့ထားနေတော့မဲ့ညီကိုနောက်တဲ့တယောက်ပါထပ်တော့သွားဖို့တော့များသွားပြီ IDA ထိုင်ရန်တစ်ဆောင်လုံးတောင်းမှုတော့များသွားပြီ YG လက်ရှိတီကို format alive နဲ့ survive ဖြစ်နေတုံးပဲဗျကောနာရောက်ရေနော်
And like you said early, they're ruling the roost, gifted the
တိုင်း YG တယောက်နော့သွားပြီ
and Tiamba was the only squad that tried to fight them for it and they failed.
Hey, you know what?
မာနက်နော့သွားတာတိုင်းကိုမာနက်တွေးပါတော့ပြန်ဖြစ်ထားလို့ပဲချင်းကြီးကိုမကိုင်းပိုင်းနဲ့ထပ်ပြီးဝင်လာတယ်ဆိုမဲ့လေချော်ကိုင်းနဲ့တောက်ချောက်ကိုလိုက်မေးထားအောင်ပါလား
Young Galacticos, they're in trouble here. They're on that south side. They're outside of the zone. They're getting gate kept by
လိုင်းကြနေလို့တဲ့ဟမ်ဘလို့လိုင်းကြနေရတော့ကိုကြီးကလိုင်းကြလားချင်းကြီးကိုစီကလိုင်းကြလား
Unless there's a hero blade to be
လက်ရှိမှာတော့ဒါစေးကလောက်တယောက်ပဲကြံတော့နော်နေတဲ့သူ့လူတွေတော့ပြန်တော့ save နေတော့မယ်ဗျ YG 3 man alive ကိုမှ2ယောက်ကတော့နော်နေတယ်ပေါ့နော်နေတဲ့ player တွေကိုကျွန်တော်စေးကလောက်ပြန်တော့ save နေတော့မယ် Romeo ပြန်ရှင်မှုတော့များသွားခဲ့ပြန်ပြီညီကိုတို့လီးပါကွာလိုင်းကြနေပါတယ်တဲ့
better than going out.
တဲလေးလမလေးလောအားပေးကြပါဦးချင်းကြီးကို
point at least. So if they go
ကဲ
down,
စေးကလောက်တယောက်ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ဗျ Rohi 2ယောက်2 man alive နဲ့ဆောင်းကတော့ထပ်တော့တိုးရအောင်မယ်မလွယ်တော့ဘူးလီးပါကွာငါလိုတမလိုင်းရတယ်
inching up little by little is going to try to make a play though.
ဝမ်းနေဒီမှာကျဲပြီးတောင်းချောက်ကိုတော့တက်ပြဲခဲ့တယ်ဆိုမဲ့လေ Romeo တိုင်း YG 1 man alive ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ဗျစေးကလောက်တယောက်ပဲကြံတော့မစေးကလောက်တိုင်းဆုံးကတော့နာတော့နာရင်တော့မင်းမစပါငါလိုတမလိုင်းမယ်မင်းငါလို
Just say Cloud left them. He's still got a ton of utility left to work with as he throws in that nade.
စေးကလောက်တိုင်းဒီမှာလေသွေးပါဖြည့်နေတော့ပဲ Anas တိုင်းစေးကလောက်ဖတ်စိတ်နေတောင်းချောက်ကိုဖြည့်ပြီးတော့ survive လုပ်နေတော့ပဲဗျ
Time to live out.
မရတော့ဘူးတိုင်းအဲ့လောက်ဆိုရင်တော့စေးကလောက်အနေနဲ့အရင်တော့လွယ်မှာတော့မဟုတ်ဘူး
The second the zone pops and
ကားလည်းမရှိတော့ဘူးတိုင်းဝင်ဖို့မရတော့ဘူးစေးကလောက်ဒီမှာပဲဖတ်စိတ်နေနဲ့ထိုင်ဖြည့်ပြီး survive လုပ်ရမှာပဲချင်းကြီးကိုတို့
yeah, so this play zone is going to take out Young Galacticos there.
YG တသေးလုံးတောင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီခင်ဗျာညီကိုတို့တကယ်ကောင်းပါတယ်ညီကိုတကယ်ကောင်းတယ် YG
It's time. We want all these eliminations. Let's shut down this game in some beautiful fashion.
How far can they take it? A
Follow my
defense from S2G on this one. Nonshin playing it smart, playing their cards close to their chest. But they've suffered a fair bit of damage off the back of being pinned into this position, being shot at from two angles.
တဲလေး share လေးနဲ့ချင်းကြီးကိုအားပေးသွားလို့ရရင်တော့ချင်းကြီးကိုတွေ
I mean, they got a baker's dozen already.
တဲလေး share လေးနဲ့အားပေးသွားလို့ရပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
Eliminations. And look at this, finding those tight angles.
တကယ် high ရတော့ပွဲကြီးရမယ်ဆောင်းရမိုက်တယ်
Games in the back here. It's literally Godlike's game to lose. Let's see if they can close it out, though. That's always going to be the question. Oh, Nongshimmer, they are toast, dude. They're forced to run out in the wide open. No smokes available. And, man, they just get deleted. Godlike soaking up all these eliminations. If you're Nongshimmer Red Force, honestly, it's really interesting to see them kind of go for this strategy here, as they're going to be feeding a lot of points on the side of
လာကြနေတယ်ဟျောက်ရင်မပြောတော့
As they are sending reverberation.
YG ချောကတော့မကတ်ချင်တော့ချင်းကြီးကိုပြောတော့
Bringing the heat.
လိုင်းလာကြနေတော့ကွာမပြောတော့
Down on S2G.
S Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all
လီးပါကွာလိုင်းရလဲ
and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G
smoke ဒီပါတော့ကျတော့ခင်းထားတော့မယ်ဗျ
players off guard, but it's S Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
ကူကတော့ဒီပွဲဟိုပြဖို့များသွားချစ်ကက်ရဖို့များသွား format alive နဲ့
You can't stop S Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease.
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Ferris. It's Godlike's time to shine.
energy of this arena says enough about the excitement and the plays that this team has been making, and they deserve every bit of celebration they're getting, Jukes.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this was that one slot that looked like it was available. The top four looking very far away, very out of reach. But Godlike said, you know what? Let's just shut that door right here and right now. This top five is locked, right? Now, at the same time, there's still quite a few games left here, right? You gotta have put up consistent points, but if those top five do that, it may just be too far to reach.
That's the scary bit, right? Is obviously some of the other squads that were above the teams that were looking to climb, they fell out pretty early there. Like Vitality not getting a great game out of this one. Godlike capitalizing where it matters most. Like you say, dude, you've made it so much harder for the mid-portion teams. You want to get into finals? Yeah, good luck. You might just have to go to survival, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, even a team like Alpha 7, who was doing great this game, right? They had a good, solid amount of eliminations, but at the end of the day, you know, you could put up a 15-point game. If the team you're hunting down puts down 16, you did nothing. As a matter of fact, now you're behind a point, right? So that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. It takes full-fledged consistency in both days. And look at that. I mean, they just basically said, hey, bring it, baby. Good luck. Try catching us now.
Oh, yeah. Pulling ahead. Everyone's blowing up. You can hear the excitement, bro. It's insane, the energy we've got here right now at EWC. It's a spectacle to behold. You come in to what was an explosive day yesterday of sheer talent, unexpected results, crazy circles, and then we start to run it back all over again.
Oh, that is how you do it right there, guys. Let's get it going here. We got some more action coming up in just a bit.
Here at PMWC at EWC 26, we have many activities that we can do before the games, in between the games, and after the games. And I think Max is there currently doing something. So let's see if maybe we can go in and give him a bit of a challenge, as he almost just absolutely ate it. Max, come over here, Max.
I'm training, I'm doing my routine.
No, I think you've been training. Let's do a 1v1. Pick a spot somewhere over here. If you make it, I'll try to match the shot.
I'm gonna wreck you. I'm gonna wreck you.
Oh, let's see if he can actually do this. All right, come on now.
On the X.
Okay, all right, on the X. Let's see if it's gonna go in.
I checked the math. The best way to throw a basketball is actually the granny shot like this.
Let's see if it's gonna happen. Oh my, okay, you know what? I'll give it a chance.
I'm just giving you a chance right now.
Okay, here, hold on to this.
Okay, come on. Mr. 7WG in the court. Yeah, the granny shot. From behind. No way, Jose. That was terrible. Wait, he's cheating. You just got 2 in a row. That was actually not bad.
That was close. We're getting closer and closer. We're gonna keep on practicing, and we'll see if maybe one of us can make the shot. Come on, Max, you gotta make at least one for us. Okay, well, we'll keep on practicing our skills. Back to more PMWC at EWC 26.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
I had to steal it from Alpha 7 because Godlike, my goodness, what a performance we just saw out of that squad, controlling the North and absolutely smacking everybody.
Yes, this is what we wanted to see from them. Let's go. Some really, really good stuff, right, Max? I mean, we just saw so much from this team.
Follow it, share it, and I'll be all
coming on through there. Really good stuff coming in. I want to say SGG did make the right call going for the duo on the North because it was the high ground, it was cut off, but sending an extra player from Godlike up to there to defeat, to defend.
ကောင်းလုံးပါကွာ YG ဒီပွဲဒီလိုမျိုးလေးတွေပဲတောက်လျှောက်လိုက်ပြီး stop ပေးမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ဒီပွဲဟာတော့ဒီနေ့ကတော့ YG ကတော့ top 5 ထဲကတော့ auto win တယ်ကွာသိလားဒီအမှတ်မှာတော့ top 5 ထဲဝင်သွားမလားမသိဘူးဒီပွဲပါတော့တိုင်းတော့နော်ဝင်နိုင်တဲ့တိုင်းတော့ပြောလို့မရဘူး
incredible stuff from Some Admino 2 no eliminations coming out from Manyab. He was like the RTS master, just putting his
ဝင်နိုင်တယ်တော့ချင်းကြီးကိုပြောလို့မရဘူး
so great IGLing, great fragging power, and of course
အကောင်းပါ
20 limbs on a Rondo. Oh my goodness.
မခံရတော့မလို့တော့အေးဆိုကောက်ပါခံပါတော့မလို့ကန်ကောင်းလို့
because this squad needed to make sure they got out of the bottom 3 and they were able to do just that, Lace.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly understanding the assignment today. They had a 2.1 average point day yesterday. So, you know, this is clear. This is clear that they had to do this. They cleared that eastern side, transitioned smoothly into the eliminations. No team casualties is a massive turnaround for this team. Then, to cut the head of the snake, taking down Vitality is a huge power play. And I mean, this was a crucial 15 eliminations that they added to their tally to put them in 11th spot.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive push. They started the day in 15th place. A team that needs those points. Godlike as well. With this, Godlike moving even closer and closer to the finals as we take a look at the match ranking here. Hora Esports, I mean, we'll get a chance to talk about Yangon Galacticos in a bit, but Hora Esports continuing to be consistent as well with that fragging power we know they're capable of.
Yeah, very happy about Hora Esports, right? We saw NoFear get some really good fights on their side. Unfortunately,
ဒီပွဲမှာ YG ကတော့ Shed 3 to the K boy 12ပိုင်းနေယူထားတယ်ဆိုတော့
very important here
ဆိုတော့မစိုးဘူးကွာ
at the bottom of the rankings. It's 7-2-1 GS Esports. They woke up massively here on Rondo. 15 eliminations, 1 placement point, which is, you know, like meh, okay, sure, but overall 7-2-1 doing a massive push to get rid of that bottom 3 slot.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Lace was just talking about as well with Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ends up
Okay,
getting
so finally,
this is good for this squad. But one thing that we need to point out is those teams that they were trying to hunt down for the top 5, they were still alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how it goes into the next couple of games with this. I do want to say one thing though, is A7 much better already today than yesterday, for me at least. I mean, they had better presence, there was more just meaning behind their splits. That 1-3 split coming in, the info was better. It just felt like a team that had a lot more synergy than they did yesterday. So definitely very excited to see what we got coming in for A7.
Yeah, I mean, they had better scouting today. Yeah. So you could clearly see that they were actually prioritizing this a little bit more than yesterday. Obviously, we had an awesome interview with them. They said they were going to try some different plays, but it seems like they're returning to their natural presence, which is amazing. And I mean, that drive-by from Revo, man, that was so incredibly clean, well calculated. 1 casualty out of that.
Match 1တော့ပြီးသွားခဲ့ပြီ Match 2တော့တူတူဆက်ကြည့်မယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
Brazilian team.
That Brazilian team is going to be looking for me because I did end up losing an instrument. You know what? I'll join you guys. Why not? Okay, I'll put it back now. They're going to be looking for me. It's going to be hard for me to get out here. But Max, one team that was able to actually do a good rotation, have a good strategy here, and a team that needs it is the defending champions of PMWC, Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, Yangon and Galacticos actually a team that was, I would say, a little bit more passive towards the very later stages of this game, but actually ahead of that, their rotations from the western side, able to cross that bridge against the side of Hora, it was just some great rotations, and especially great scouting from this team that I think a lot of teams could try and learn from the scouting capabilities of Yangon Galacticos, especially at one point, Iptra, leaving SayCloud behind them on a high ground position in that one building to make sure he can scout for his teammates which positions are free, which positions are available, and then the entire team just send it over to the eastern side of those buildings to get the high ground for themselves.
I know you got a illustration for us. Natira, do me a favor, grab the mic from him so he can actually use both hands.
There you go.
And if you want to, yeah, put the mic.
I need to talk in the mic, thank you.
Now, if you're looking at this position here, one big point of contention the Yangon
How
Galacticos got
Davi
for
la
free
kunai ne.
because of that insanely good scouting is going to be here, and this is like a two-tiered parking slot that they're going to be playing, which is high ground position and literally the entirety of the circle. But before that rotation, they had a scout that was actually over here in this position, and he was just providing information while his teammates were going for that wide rotation into that compound. The scout, it's a lot of microphone. The scouting was just on point. I wish they were just more aggressive later on, but in terms of the rotation in the early to mid-game stage, Yangon still have it here at PMWC 2026.
Yangon still got it, baby, and you still got it too. Feeling like a celebrity over there, Max, with so many microphones just surrounding you. But for this squad, we need to continue to see that proactiveness. We need to continue to see everything that we're seeing out of them to maintain themselves closer.
Now, match one be the
right now, E-Arena
Young, Yangon Galacticos got one of the Lisa and Chama Beshi, the Chinigoro.
As a recap, we saw complete control from E-Arena on Rondo yesterday. Started at Stadium, continued at Stadium, and ended at Stadium with a record-breaking 29 points. But from
Wanji, what do you need? Wanji, to the Lisa and Chama, Shasimaro Yanabi, Shafai, then with my Yamano Dairu.
It seems like they're not.
Cruise take on it almost on Shafai there with my Yama. I know. Shafai there we also are made to you. Much just said then you.
But this is something, you know, we expect it coming, especially on Rondo in this
Now, what then? Now that Dinia, not on our channel.
Yeah, and we're looking now at the new bottom three. The new bottom three, Dopeness, ETS,
Hustler
Crew, Dopeness, I know that squad.
They're not out here now. She mentioned it.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd for me because like
the
only teams that didn't hot drop on Rondo, right? Everybody went
Okay.
except for a few. And Dopeness was one of them. I want to see more from that. Maybe a hot drop.
That is Shelly and Abi all
Yesterday was on Rondo. Today they did nothing on their map.
Well, can Dopeness maybe turn it around today as we're going to be sending it over to the first Erangel of the final day for Group B. Hot Jukes, Jackie, take it away.
Here we go into Erangel. Let's get it going here. And I like what the desk was talking about, right? They were talking about the new bottom three.
Why did you find the final? Be
on here for the rest of the day because unless these teams do something crazy consistently, we may not see a new top 5.
Oh,
18-point gap, Jackie, between 5th and 6th place. And with how these top 5 teams have been playing,
follow it,
it's feeling really defined already, right? That's kind of what we were talking about, the downtime between last game and this one. So effectively, yeah, you've got to just keep your eyes locked in at who's in the bottom right now. That's the biggest area of movement we're looking at, where realistically there is chances for some teams to save what could have otherwise been a really rough run in Group B. Top dogs, though, unless teams start targeting them, Jukes, and things get spicy, I feel like they've just looked so consistent. They've looked so hardy. It's going to be really rough to push them out of this position.
It's going to be tough indeed, but if you're going to go ahead and so here we go, folks. Match number 2 of Group B. Final day of the groups, right? We still have survival stage coming up, but it's all come down to this. So yeah, 15-point gap. Now, you know, mathematically, for all you guys watching, you're like, hey, come on, it's 15 points. It can still happen, right? And it definitely can. The issue is the fact that the top 5 teams are still going to get points, right? So, you know, if we see the top 5 put up 5 points here, that's now a 20-point gap, right? So, honestly, I think if you are in that 6th place on down, I wonder what the coaches are saying, right? I think if it's you're gonna have to start really talking about guys like a regular game is no longer okay.
Okay,
Just go for a hot drop. Do something. We've got to just try something. If we can starve them from getting no points, I believe in Paris that'd be nil point. Well, there you go. Check that one, Max Man. Let me know. Yeah, if you can actually just target them, deny them physically even being able to play one battleground, starve them out.
Why you survive my the way ma survive alone the way like don't want.
This ain't normal though, bud. We're getting these circles again.
Are you kidding me? Here we go again. Southern Plane Path, Super Northern Circle. You know, I would normally be like, Team Vitality ain't too happy about that. But yeah, again, like probably no one's catches of the day pretty much no matter what. So they're good with this one. But this could be a good opportunity, right, for the rest of the lobby to make something happen here. Now, one of the teams that desperately want to is Yangon Galacticos. Okay, they're in 6th place with 46 points. They're right there below that cutoff. And this is not the best circle for them at all.
No, far harder of a rotation. Obviously something they're quite comfortable with in terms of the drop location. But like you say, having to make that whole wrap is going to be brutal for them. But we've got something that's going to be very exciting for all of the viewers, Jim.
Yeah. And it's gonna be that Naruto skin. That's right, guys. Join that Uzumaki Naruto event.
Let's go. That is sharing it. I'll be all the way in a Chingy Guri.
Get your hands on that bad boy because the AUG is OP. And
the horror.
in style. We're here. But
oh, so we're landing up in a cool, but the other no, I be horror. Lunani, they hold it. Lunani, they
man, I'm telling you, these guys are just having a phenomenal day. It's wild to see 39 points in Rondo on day 1. And then Godlike bust down 30 here. So, I mean, when it comes to Rondo, Group B just weren't playing.
Follow it, then I'll be all the
the upper echelons of Rondo gameplay made it look super exciting in some of the instances we've been gifted over yesterday and today. And the ideal scenario, like you touched on there, for Godlike, right? Come back in swinging once again. Target some of these squads. The only benefit to that is if you're playing with a 3-man squad for Horo, if this is a bit more of a weakened knee, there's a chance we're we can try and lap them, push ourselves further into the safety net. Helps them out. The other teams, not so much. Still got to be a far better game.
Man, I tell you, if I'm any of these other teams in this lobby and I see Godlike already starting off with elimination, I'm like, oh, this is not good. You know, like they're already getting hot off the rip. That's going to make things tough. So I'm talking about Yangon Galacticos all the way down to Tianba. It still freaks me out to see Tianba down in 13. I had them as a lock for top 5 here. That's going to make the survival stage that much more interesting, though, right? I mean, we heard Neptura, right? She was happy to see some movement from Alpha 7. I am as well. But you got to look at the reality of things, right? Like, that game was good, but it did nothing.
And you are saying, "Chama, Thailand, to the Shasema, the finally we are sorry about Thailand. I Anjay Ramen, you Anjay Ramen. Chingy Guru, Anjay Ramen, Chingy Guru.
Where mechanically they're making the right moves. You know that they're damn talented as individuals as well.
Chingy Guru, Anjay Ramen, come on.
Looking far cleaner in moments of chaos, but that only goes so far. If you're not able to get yourself into a good position.
Okay, so finally you pure got the other side of the mad life one, finally.
Just feels like you're coming in doing this on hard mode, realistically.
Literally. I mean, that's the one thing I've noticed.
The way out chicken you wave on dying, why did the way out chicken person me? Just fight there is a winner. Wow.
Good games are good and all, right? But the thing is,
play the other down, 3-man alive channel.
They're not even doing great games, right? They're doing something special. They're doing something that we've never seen before. And you just can't compete with that, right? Just good isn't good enough here at this stage. If you want that top prize pool, you got to break records. You got to do something special.
I think it's spot on. It's what we've seen. The quality of competition has raised to a new level. And these are going to be terrifying squads to have back when we get all the way through towards finals. That's a conversation for another time, though. Yangon Galacticos taking some shots over onto S2G. A bit of a sleeper squad to the previous game. Gave a good run of things, all things considered, with how they approached it. Kamikaze limping away, crossing his fingers, thinking maybe there's a chance, maybe I can get picked up. Just don't give Marnet another knock for free off the back of it. That's the
I already know what he's telling his teammate. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. I promise, I'm promise. Give me. And he got it. Nice. Soulke able to catch Kamikaze there, but Yangon Galacticos are looking in this direction. Ooh, those stairs. All it takes is one little bullet through it, but oh, he does get that res. So now, hopefully, we're going to see Kamikaze get to safety. There's a bridge gatekeep on a northern zone, too. That's ridiculous. I'm surprised we're seeing Young Galacticos take so much time to do this because this is on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, they're not on the mainland.
ရုံးမရှိဘူးလားရုံးမရှိသေးဘူးချင်းကြီးကိုဝိုင်းကြီးဝါကြည့်နေတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုကဲဝိုင်းကြီးစမိုင်းရှင်းမှာတော့ဟိုရရှိရရောက်ရင်
I mean, Smile's in a position where potentially they're not ready for the read. If he bobs up Jigs, couple quick shots here. Ooh, could be.
I mean,
Marnet's got the shot off again, so a re-knock on
the kamikaze.
This could be really bad.
I don't like this fight at all, personally. It just doesn't make any sense to me because if you're S2G, you're in 7th place.
Not a grenade,
points, right? You're gatekeeping.
Nano Jedi, not a grenade alone. Nano Jedi, come here.
I get you're trying to hunt down 4 eliminations.
Chado mala. Chado Chadi, no, you go grenade alone. Tap your Jedi, come here. S2G, YG in it, to the former alive to channel, S2G former alive. Yeah, S2G in it, I'll tell you about it.
Go into the circle, try to get into that end game.
Grenade alone, let me up your head in Chigi Group.
Side of the bridge, so Kamikaze can at least keep himself safe for now and try and catch him off guard, peeking from the other angle. They have that hovercraft waiting for them effectively as like the escape plan. But yeah, it's super elongated battle between these two. Burning through so many of your early reserves as well, just trapped, just sitting pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I get it. You're really committing for 4 eliminations here, but again, you're more than 15 points. I think 16 points behind 5th place. So it's an interesting play, but who knows, right? S2G could get these 4 limbs, run into circle, catch a lucky 3rd party, and it could work out. But at the end of the day, that zone goes even more north. This strategy is looking more grim by the second.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for them, does it? How they're so close, man, in terms of the standards. So like that.
Oh, YG, so now we have a little. Yeah, YG, pain it.
The difference of a team like Vitality, they've gone right. It's time to go. There's no one on our bridge. Let's get out of here safely.
I just imagine like Team Vitality, the comms right now. It's just like. You know what I'm saying? Like, la la la la la, we're good. You know, like, why don't we just take a look at Pachinki? You know, what? You guys need anything else? An extra energy drink? Anything like that? They're just so solid on the leaderboard. It's ridiculous here. But oh, here we go. Big fight here. 7-2-1 GS. Get into it with Tiamba. QGZ. Turn around with a shotgun. Gets a couple little hit markers, but it's not good enough.
Cho mà Thailand,ပြောနေတယ်ပဲThailand တိုင်းတသိန်းလုံးတောင်းသွားဖို့တော့များသွားပြီ Thailand တသိန်းလုံးတောင်းသွားပြီချင်းကြီးကိုရီ
You got Alpha 7 as well, keeping their eyes on this with Wolves also right on top of them. The dinner bells.
Granite alone လမ်းတော့ပြစ်ထည့်ထားသေး A7 ပလီယာတယောက်နော်အားခဲ့ပြီး1အနေနဲ့တောက်ချောက်ကိုသကွင်းနေပြီဗျဒီမှာ A7 ပလီယာတောက်ချောက်ဒေါင်းအနေနဲ့ပဲ2 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ဒီမှာလည်း GS တိုင်းတယောက်တော့နော်အားခဲ့ပြီး A7 1 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့နောက်တယောက်ပဲတက်နော်အားခဲ့ပြီးချင်းကြီးကိုရီ A7 တောက်ချောက်တော့ပြစ်ကန်လာရအနေနဲ့ပဲ A7 တိုင်း1 man alive A7 တယောက်ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုနော် A7 ရှစ်မှာ Horizon ဘာလို့ရှိနေတော့မှဗျ Granite တွေထပ်ပြီးတော့ဝင်လာတယ်1ဒီမှာ GS တင်းတွေတော့ကြောက်တော့လမ်းပြစ်နေတော့မယ်
It felt like they had seized an opportunity to attempt a third party onto that and squeeze some points, but it all blows up in their face, literally.
Oh, such a rough finish for A7. Down to just Obscure here. Really fortunate on the side of 7-2-1 GS, who in that last game, and if they do good on this one, should put them in a really good position to at least make it to the survival stage. And who knows, right? I mean, with a good chicken dinner here, could even possibly get them a little closer to that top 5.
ရှိနေတယ်ဗျ A7 တော့လက်ရှိမှာ1 man alive ပဲချင်းကြီးကို
like doing this game. But now we're just going to see Alpha 7. Yeah, Obscure just going to have to do something for his team here. Really needs to sneak away a couple of eliminations.
You see the migration from S2G. They did abandon their post in the end, leaving the bridge. Here's the replay. Okay, so this is it. It looks like it was the teammate then, I imagine, on the bounce.
Oh no!
Saw it in the Elim feed, Jukes. I'm thinking, how on earth has this happened? Like, you just trapped in a building? What's going on? The strafe with a nade. Oh, mate.
Those windows used to be bigger. I think that's what it was.
I don't even know if that would have helped, but nade's not that big.
You gotta thread that needle, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately,
လက်ရှိမှာ YG ကတော့ format alive ပဲကြံနေတော့မယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုဟာ
It happens. You're under pressure. You got vehicles driving up on you. You're trying to make it to the finals, and just one little misplay, you get punished. Yesterday, we saw with the Wolves, right, flip a car and get taken out because of it, and that just goes to show at this high level.
YG ကတော့သုံးကတော့တောက်ချောက်တော့တိုးလာပြီ
Going to the finals.
ဟော YG ကပစ္စည်းဆုံးတော့ပါရလားကွာဟိုအတွက်တရားမှာပိတ်ခံလာတာ YG နဲ့ပဲစုံတိုးနေတော့မယ်တာယူတောက်ချောက်ပဲစုံဒမ်းမိတ်လေးကနားတော့နားရင်တော့ချင်းကြီးကို
Isn't brittle off the back of the team Nage. You got to reset from it, Jukes.
Yeah, looking at the bottom of the leaderboards here, the fact that Tianba went out
so
YG early, we're going to see them in the bottom three, most likely here after this game alone. I mean, you got Dopeness only 1 point away. SH are still up with 4. Hustlers Crew are up with 3. So, one of the favorites going into
ကားလေးနဲ့ပဲတော့ကြောက်တော့တိုးနေတော့မယ်ဗျကျောင်း YG တင်းကတော့လက်ရှိမှာစုံဒမ်းမိတ်လေးနေတော့ကျွန်တော်ခံနေရတယ်သူတရားမှာပိတ်ခံလာရတာကွာသိလားအားလုံးမှသားတွေကွာ S2G တင်းကအားလုံးမှ YG တင်းကိုပိတ်သွားတာပါမေးပြလိုက်ပါဦး
the warehouse near Severny. This
is
a really solid position. No matter where the zone goes, they're going to have a lot of real estate to be able to drive to there. So let's see how they decide to defend against it. It's not even that easy to press up on.
ဒီတင်းနေလဲတော့ကြောက်တော့တိုးနေတော့မယ်
TT on the quick rotate. Last remember from Alpha 7 there in Obscure down on the deck.
ဟော်ရိုင်းလက်ရှိရရှိနေတယ်ဗျ
Forging a path forward and thankfully haven't been popped off by any of the teams in these positions.
Follow လေးတဲလေး share လေးနဲ့အားပေးသွားလို့ရပါတယ်နော်ချင်းကြီးကို
Chip damage, Jukes, but not enough.
Put some shots down range, and everyone's just playing keep away. Say, hey, no, someone's here. Do not full send it onto my building, please, and thank you. Oh, Wolves, okay. Nice nade there on the 721 GS. That's a huge fight. That's 10th and 11th place going at it. But it looks like they are just within little nade range. Not fighting it out just yet. Now we're going to look at Godlike. Okay, Godlike mighty close here to Young on Galacticos. I don't think Young on Galacticos want any of this fight right now.
YG ရှိရရှိနေတော့မယ်
A little bit further down south the hill. Mormon catches Slonic. Oh, the Wolves looking hurt here as that's 2 players down. But Elementrix, we're seeing a battle go out. And here he goes. Elementrix getting
အဲ့မှာ EA ပလီယာတယောက်တော့နော်အားခဲ့ပြီဗျကျွန်တော်တို့မှာ EA နော်နေတဲ့ပလီယာတယောက်ကိုတော့တာကြီးအများဆုံးပဲလာပြီးတော့ save ဖို့တော့လုပ်နေတယ်ဗျ
The Wolves not surviving.
နော်နေတဲ့ပလီယာတယောက်ကိုတော့ကျွန်တော်ကားထဲထည့်သွားပြီးတော့ပဲကျွန်တော် EA အနေနဲ့ကတော့ဇုံထဲတော့ဆက်တိုးသွားခဲ့ပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတို့
Grab Mormon, throw him in the vehicle and get away to pick him up.
Yeah, wild to see here. Is Irina going to push on over to
တော့ YG ဒီဘက်မှာတော့ဘက်တရီတော့ဖြစ်နေပြီကူ YG နဲ့ပဲရေကားလေးနဲ့ပဲဘက်တရီနဲ့တောက်ချောက်တော့ဝင်သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျရှင်းမှာတော့ဂူးပလေယာကြီးတော့ရှိနေတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ဒါမှရိုမီယိုတောက်ချောက်ပဲတက်ပြီးတော့ဂမ်မိုတော့လုံနေတယ် ဆမင်းဘွားရေမြင့်လို့မြင်လို့ပြောပြပေးပါခုနကနေဟာအဲ့လိုကြီးကမပြောတော့ဘူးလို့ရိုမီယိုတောက်ချောက်ပဲရှေးဘက်ကိုတော့ကြည့်နေတော့မယ်ဗျ
Let's see what happens.
စကောက်လုပ်ပေးနေရပါတော့ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ဒီမှာဂူးပလေယာကြီးတောင်ပေါ်မှာရှိနေတာနော်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့ YG နေနဲ့လွယ်ပါမလား
Lucky. I know, dude.
တော့ချောက်ပဲကျွန်တော်စမိုင်းတော့လမ်းတော့ပြစ်တယ်ဆိုမှလည်း smile အဲ granite တွေပါတော့လမ်းတော့ကျဲတယ်မငါလုံးမသားငါတို့တင်းမကိုလီးမလို့ granite လမ်းကျဲရလားမမေစပါလီးမလို့ granite ကျဲလာလားလို့ငါလုံးမဂူးတယ်နော်ဂူးလားဂိုးလားတော့မသိငါလုံးမဂိုးရနော်ဘာကောင်းနေတော့မေးပဲနေနော်အားလုံး YG တယောက်တော့သွားပြီနော်
It's a 4v3 situation. Let's see how Godlike decides to take this fight. They're already starting to wrap around, get their claws into Young on Galacticos. They're going to have to get more.
YG တယောက်တော့သွားပြီနော်
Yeah, the pins are played.
မိုနိုဒရိုက်ပါလမ်းကျဲတာအေးပဲလေငါလုံးမခွေးတုံမဲ့ကောင်းနေ
What's going on here?
အမစမုတ်ထဲကိုလိုက်ပြီး spray တာပါတဲ့
To duel one another. F is there from TT falling.
မင်းတို့က YG ကိုမကြောက်ဘူးလား
And that fight does result in them going down. Out of the running, but another game
အော်
6
YG format alive တော့ပြန်ဖြစ်သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျအောက်မှာကျွန်တော် TT စကွက်3ယောက်တော့နော့နေတာတော့ချင်းကြီးကို YG နည်းငယ်လေးတော့တာဘက်တရီတော့တိုးဆိုင်တော့ဆိုင်ရတော့မယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
That's a huge opportunity.
ဘက်တရီကတော့တိုးပြီးတော့ဆိုင်ရတော့မယ် YG နေနဲ့ဇုံထဲဝင်ဖို့အားလုံးမှဂူးတယ်ပိတ်ထားတာပါတဲ့ဂူးလားဂိုးလားတော့မသိဘူးကွာခွေးသင်း
Oh,
အော်ရှေ့မှာလဲတီတစ်ဆောက်ကလုံးချောဒေါင်းသွားဖို့တော့များပါပြီတီတစ်ဆောက်ကလုံးတော့ဒေါင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီချင်းကြီးကိုကြီး
Huge opportunity now for ETSH. 7 points on the board.
Granite နေပဲကောင်းလိုက်တာ YG ကျော် Romeo တက်ပြောပဲ spray နေပြီတော့တိုင်းတို့ကောင်းနိုင်အောင်ကြီးဒါလေးနေပဲတောင်းချောက်တော့တက်နေခဲ့ပြီ YG တိုင်းစေးကလောက်ဘလို့မျိုးပြစ်သွားသွားမှလဲရှော့ကန်နေနဲ့လမ်းပြစ်ချင်တယ်ဆိုမှလဲစေးကလောက်နော်သွားခဲ့ပြီဂူးပလီယာနောက်တစ်ယောက်ကိုတက်တော့နော်ထားပေးနေအော်ကောင်းလိုက် YG နှစ်ယောက်တော့နော်သွားပြီတိုင်းတို့ဟာ YG တော့နော်သွားပြီငါတို့မှသားတွေကွာစမိုင်းတယောက်ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုရေဟာအမေဘေးတွေကွာလီးပါကွာစမိုင်းတယောက်ပဲကြံတော့တယ်ဟာအော်ရေပြောဖို့ကောင်းမနေဘူးကွာလောက်ကြီးကြတော့
Nades onto the smokes.
Connect
onto someone.
As power gets in the vehicle.
ဘယ်နဲ့ရှိပြီလဲဒါ match 2လေးပါ brother match 2လေးပါခင်ဗျာယောက်ရေမပြောတော့ဘူးယောက်ရေစမိုင်းတယောက်ပဲကြံတော့တယ်
Because our top 5 teams are all in this. Bunch of teams in that mid pack are gone. Next zone does pop, goes right towards that center position. Godlike are going to use that high ground and gun skill to dominate this side of the map. And it looks like they are looking way too good to start the day. Man, S Power has just been ridiculous today. And that last game was insane. Even here, his shots are just so on point. He came ready to play today.
He's quick, stylish. Certainly delivering out there.
Maybe that's what the S stands for.
Hey, yo. I wouldn't fault him for it. He's been living up to the brand with the plays he's been making. Arena.
မင်္ဂလာပါမမြင်တာကြားတော့မမြင်ချင်တော့ဘူးလေဟုတ်တယ်လို့တူတူပဲလို့တိုင်ငါတို့ဝိုင်းကြီးကစမိုင်းတယောက်ပဲကြံတော့တယ်လို့
A rock between them and ETSH. Nearby bounce on the nade. Afriko's got a double back slightly for Hita. Somewhat effective in these angles. Slight off angle where he can peek down on you. He loves these sort of peaks.
Come on, Fajita. Let's see what you can do. Oh, Turney K getting hit with that nade. He's going to back it on up. So you know what? I'll leave those smokes right there. Looks like they're seeming to throw a bombardment on them. So Arena doing a good job. Back it up. Just, hey, take our time. We can't afford to get knocked here. This is still stage 5. This is wild. I mean, I think these teams in the mid-pack all played super aggressive, and it just didn't work out for, like, almost any of
them. It's the exact opposite of what really they needed to get out from this one. The rich will only get richer towards the top, and our bottom 3 squads all still in the running. That's where the movement could be off a game like this. VTSH can keep up the gameplay we've seen with 4 players alive and 7 elims in the bank already. Maybe they can start to climb out.
Nice knock there. Kamikaze gets a nade onto Admino from Godlike. Here we go. It's Godlike versus S2G. Good nade in that direction. Ooh, doesn't hit the mark just yet. And meanwhile, yeah, look at that smile from Young Galactico, just hiding for his life here.
Just sat inside that smoke. Oh, the vehicle so close to finding him as they're looking to bonnet him. S Power's on the move as well.
Oh! Chicaning around, but S2G lose another player down to 2. Lost, living up to his name because he's panicking right now. Can't quite find him, but S Power takes a bullet to the back of the head. The SMG delivers. Goodbye, Godlike, as S2G win out on that one.
Huge S2G right there, right on time. Godlike, who have now moved into 2nd place. You got these reses though, and the blue zone is closing. They're gonna go ahead and pick him up, get him into that vehicle. It's smoke. Oh, never mind. Says, this ride is for myself and myself alone as I'm driving into a whole bunch of shots. Oh, Solke. That is looking like it is gonna be it. Yeah, he has to move away from the vehicle. It explodes. And S2G, nice fight, but not able to convert anything afterwards.
Hey, there's Vitality as well, getting LOS onto that. They see them and instantly farm through, stealing away some extra points. Does Smile make a move? The solo here from Yangon. He's thinking about the big picture, Jukes, but look how tempting this is.
Hello! And Razy somehow survived that. The trap that was sprung, and he was able to get out with the cheese. He got out with the cheese, unscathed.
Ludicrous scenes, quick wrap around. Ooh, can't make it back in. That is going to be the deny out then. No chance to re-peek into the zone. Points denied, Yangon removed.
What is this leaderboard? What is this leaderboard?
玩家小阿比像耶。
So we got 4 from the top 5.
现在班长叫啊，你们不要扔我。
In the mid pack. Does it need to be said here? Does it need to be said here, folks? This is insane.
Feeling pretty defined. Feels like it's all just inevitable.
不难的，怎么样？
ETSH, realistically the only one towards the bottom side with anything to be earned from this. Dopeness only down to a duo. And the last man of Aura in Sleepy, tucked in behind the tree. Hyunbin not far away either.
Yeah, honestly, he's doing enough, right? If you're Aura, you're just trying to put up, 4 or 5 points a game, that could be enough to just put yourselves into those finals. Considering that, yeah, I mean, all the mid-pack teams aren't going to have that 20-point pop-off game that they needed. There's only, I think, one that stands a chance. And it's going to be tough considering that almost all the lobby, the top of the lobby is still here. Look at this, Youngshin Red Force with 1. They're doing exactly what they need to. Now it's ETSH, the team that needs to get themselves out of the bottom. Now just getting destroyed on the side by E-Arena, the Thai squad. Deleting them out of there. Nice push, though. They did get some good, solid eliminations, but they're going to still need to do a whole lot more if we want to see them in that survival stage.
Yeah, had to squeeze extra from this one. That's what you were saying. Good isn't enough anymore. For them, it's not going to bail them out. Dopeness, though. The Dope duo looking to clash versus Ida. First one falls. E-Arena even trying to siphon points off the back of that, and they do so successfully, taking
ခုနိုင်နဲ့ပြောပါချင်းကြီးကိုရီတော့ Vitality တယောက်တော့နော်အားခဲ့ပြီတယောက်ထပ်နော်အားခဲ့ပြန်ပြီခင်ဗျာ
You know what? Its weakness is when you're getting shot in the back. Unfortunate there for Raze.
Vitality အနေနဲ့ဘယ်လိုမျိုးလေးစောပြသွားအောင်ပါလဲကော
Just flexing at this point. They still have 2 players up.
Vitality နောက်တစ်ယောက်တော့ထပ်ပြီးတော့ပဲရှောအားခဲ့ပြန်ပြီဗျဒီကို clan နဲ့ထည့်ပါအောင်နဲ့ Okay ခဏလေးတော့ချင်းကြီးကိုကြီးဒီမှာသရွေးနေလို့လေသရွေးမြင်စားပြောရမယ်နော်ချင်းကြီးကိုခဏနေချင်းရမှာတော့ချင်းကြီးကိုဝိုင်းကြီးကြောက်တော့ကွာမပြောတော့ဘူး
Storyline left is Ida. Like if you're Ida right now, the best thing that could happen is you take out this entire lobby here now.
ဝိုင်းကြီးကြောက်တော့မပြောတော့ဝိုင်းကြီးတောင်းတော့တကယ်မပြောတော့ချင်းကြီးကို
Give it your absolute all. It's not going to get any easier though. Weird timeline where Sleepy could probably sneak into the zone unnoticed as well, because Nonshin cleared this whole area, so they might not expect anyone to be there. They didn't find him tucked in behind the tree, so he's looking to just steal points if he can.
Schweppes practicing his TIG welding right there, making sure that he goes and he's walking that cup, fixing that vehicle, getting it loaded up for the rest of the match. I wonder if Ida has that.
ဦးနစ်ကွာမဲဦးနစ်တော့လို့မပြောတော့ဘူးလို့အဲ့မှာညီနာမည်အား09ဆိုတော့ CGH မှာ09ဆိုပြီးတော့ Okay ပါချင်းကြီးကို
If they have a
Okay
good
ပါခင်ဗျာ
solid idea of who's left, then they need to realize that they got to amp this
Okay ပါ
aggression
ခင်ဗျာ
up. Like, why not? If you're Ida, you need to wipe this entire lobby out if you have a chance at getting top 5, because if you don't,
ကဲကဲ follow လေးတဲလေး subscribe လေးနဲ့အားပေးလို့ရပါတယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
like top 5 is gone. So let's see what they decide to do here. I understand why they're playing it very pensively. They want to make sure that they get to that end game, but you got to ramp up the aggression.
Sleepy spotted in the end. He's hoping he could worm his way back into the zone, but not this time. Nonshin Red Force
ခုနအဲ့နဲ့ကလန်ဝင်မယ်နော်ဖုံးရရင်ချမ်းသာအောင်နဲ့
Got a good lay of the land from the
Okay ချင်းကြီးကို okay ပါ okay ပါကဲတစ်ဖက်မှာလည်းတော့6 E ဒီဘက်ကိုတော့လိုက်တော့သပွေးနေတော့မယ် Vitality ကထပ်ပြီးဝင်သွားပြန်ပြီကွာ YG ကတိတ်ပြီးတော့မဟန်တော့ဘူးနော် Group Stage မှာတော့မပြုတ်နဲ့နော်ချင်းကြီးကို
Such an open angle to just take pot shots.
Group Stage မှာမပြုတ်နဲ့နော်
Oh man, this circle not too kind as there's a lot of open field in that center. Everyone's gonna have to play the edge. I would like to see Ida go push up into these buildings though and challenge Team Vitality. They need to, honestly. They have to clear the south side out pretty quickly.
ဒီမှာဆာပြန်မိသားရဲ့လို့စပွေးနေတယ်လေလို့
Getting some more
ဟိုကန်တော့မယ်
now.
ပရင်းမြင်ဆာပြန်မှာဘောလို့
Ever so closely.
Okay.
He could hear those steps. He knows they're in that building.
40အတင်းကဘာလဲခုနကနေဗမာလဲ40
The game away somewhat.
အမတော့လို့40အတင်းက
As well, pinpooled on it. If he gets a chance to arc it in, find a knock, then they could collapse. But they are starting to fragment over as well. Darkin advanced towards the zone, looking to get set up near the cover they found. 2 players make it in. Darkin with a knock over to Hyunbin as well. Fires back up onto this ridge.
အမတော့လို့40
Does some
အတင်းက
damage onto non-ship. Vitality re-aggress. Emre holding. Rito with the assist. The shotgun slays back over onto Federales. Emre will pick off Axel. And Vitality crumble to Ida.
40မဟုတ်ပါဘူးဘယ်လိုတော့ Vitality လို့ခေါ်တယ် BID သူ့ရဲ့အတူကောက်က Vitality ကျော်ဒီမှာလဲ IDA အတင်းနေနေရတော့ရှီရိုတော့6ပဲ Spring ဘူးလို့လုံးနေ NG Prima Alive NG နေနဲ့ 4 man Alive ပြီးတော့ရှိနေတုံးပဲဗျ
So if that does happen, never mind. Ida, they understand. They need to win this game. Push up into E Arena, challenge them, try to take them out as fast as possible, and then have to deal with Nongshim Red Force later.
So many smokes being arced here, setting themselves up for it, trying to create some semblance of cover to protect them.
Vitality တွေဗျာဟုတ်တယ် Vitality
take the fight over. Deep nade in as well. Nongshim aren't sleeping either. They're thinking about just taking the hit to him. It could be a three-way battle for the finish instantly. Tizzy so low.
Oh, Schweppes got so much damage onto him. But now we're going to see Ida throw some good nades onto Nongshim Red Force. That's 2 knocks for them. This is the best case scenario. They need to wipe out this entire lobby if they want a chance. Here they go. They are starting to do it little by little. But now E Arena have woken up. Now they're starting to put in some work.
But the Vitality ကနည်းနည်းတော့ကြောက်ရတယ်
So little time to try and fix the issues you've suffered from that encounter, and E Arena know that the knee is weak. Seeing if they can make him buckle with Schweppes. Clearing through.
ခုနကနဲ့ကျွန်တော်30လိုက်မလား30တင်တယ်30တင်တယ်လို့မပြောတော့ဘူးလို့မနိုတော့ဘာလို့လမ်းတော့ကျဲဦးတော့လုံးနေတာ IDA အော်30အစောကြီးပြုတ်လာမှာပါ
Emre sneaking in.
That would hurt. Unfortunately,
first aid ဒီပိုင်းတော့ပြန်ပြည့်နေတော့မှဗျမနိုတော့မကြောက်အောင်ဆိုမဲ့လေတစ်ဖက်ကနေလမ်းမျိုးပြစ်တဲ့တိုင်လေးကိုခံလိုက်ရပြီမရတော့ထပ်ပြီးတော့ down သွားခဲ့ပြန်ပြီဗျ IDA 1 man alive ပဲကျွန်တော်ဒီမှာ EA 2 man alive ဟာဒီထဲမှာပဲကွာ EA အတင်းကိုလည်းမေးပြီးလိုက်ပါအောင်
Can he somehow find a way to follow through and win this 1v2 Peacock?
Granite တစ်လုံးလမ်းမျိုးပဲထပ်ပြစ်လိုက်ပြန်ပြီ EA ပလျာတယောက်နော်သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျနောက်တဲ့ Granite တစ်လုံးထပ်ပြီးဝင်လာတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့လမ်းမျိုးတော့ Spring နေတုံးပဲဗျသူ့အနေနဲ့3 vs 1ဆိုတဲ့ချိန်တွေမှာပဲတိုင်း IDA တိုင်းပြန်ပြီးတော့ကွယ်တော့ကွယ်နေပြီရှော်ကန်လေးတော့တက်လာခဲ့တယ်ပလျာတယောက်ကိုတော့တောက်ချောက်လမ်းဟာ
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida.
3 vs 1 IDA ချစ်ကန်ရသွားတာပါတဲ့ဟဲ့အောင်လေ3 vs 1 IDA ကချစ်ကန်ရသွားတာပါတဲ့ကောင်းလိုက်တာတော်တော်ကောင်းလာပါအဲ့ဒါကြီးရတော့ရှစ် Oh, yo, call right now, yo. 3 vs 1 ကြီးကျုံးပြသွားတာ
with the shotgun shuts it down and gets the dinner.
DBS behind the tree using that
Oh, yo.
shotgun whip technology.
ကောင်းလိုက်တာကွာအဲ့ဒါကြီးက
I'm gonna shoot that shot before you could even see me, and goodbye. I mean, this was perfect case scenario. Literally, this is what
ကောင်းလိုက်တာရောက်ရင်အဲ့ဒါကြီးကတော့
if they want a
ဟာ
shot.
ဟုတ်တယ်အမရှိုးကြီးလိုက်သားကြီးတို့ Granite လုံးပြစ်ထည့်လိုက်တယ်ကွာ
possible. That was not
နည်းနည်း pressure ပြီးနေတဲ့အချိန်မှာတယောက်ကထပ်တော့သွားတယ်မှာ1 vs 1တိုင်း1 vs 1မှာရှော့ကန်နဲ့တက်လာတာဟုတ်ကော
Bye
အမတစ်ချက်ကျွေးလိုက်နောက်တစ်ချက်ထပ်ပြီးကျွေးလိုက်တယ်ကောင်းတာဟိအောင်ကြီးဟော shit
Fast fingers.
အိုင်ဒီကအိန္ဒိယမလားကိုနိုင်တယ်အဲ့ဒီကြတော့မသိဘူးကိုနိုင်တို့စောင့်ပြောတယ်ဝဲပြီးပြိုင်ဝဲပြီးသွားရင်တော့ကိုနိုင်ရိုးလေးလုပ်ဝေးမှာပါချစ်ကြီးကိုရ
Sometimes you just gotta clutch it up. You know, you just gotta make a play if you want to keep your team in this tournament. And it's plays like that that are momentum shifters, right? It's one of those plays so big, so massive that it gets your team so dang hyped that you just become an unstoppable force for it, right? So they got it in that game, and yeah, you can see that. You want to gain some faith in your squad? You want your team to believe in you? That is how you do it, and that is a kiss well deserved.
There was no buckshot in that shotgun, Jukes. It was all slugs. He just uppercutted the whole lobby.
ကဲသေးလေးရှယ်လေးလမလေးနဲ့အားပေးသွားလို့ရပါတယ်နော်ချစ်ကြီးကိုရ
So far, I mean, 1v3 to win the game, and if this squad makes it into the finals, that was it right there, guys. That is the play that made that possible.
ကြောက်အောင်မလားပွဲရတယ်
Feeling like it was
ပွဲရ
becoming an impossibility.
များများလည်းရှိသေးတယ်တွေ့တယ်ပွဲကြောက်အောင်ပါ
To really just dialing in and immediately, like you say, locking in, knowing the game plan, understanding we have to fight, and they were so proactive that entire time.
Yep. And that's the thing, though, guys. Right? Is you're in a situation where your back's against the wall, and you can just look at.
ဒုတိယမြောက်ပွဲပေါ့နော်နောက်ထပ်၄ဝက်ချန်သေးတယ်ဒီကိုနော်ဒီနေ့မှာဒီနေ့တော့နောက်ထပ်၄ဝက်ချန်သေးတယ်ဗျ
About this year in particular, we're seeing teams, coaches understand just doing whatever happens isn't going to work. You gotta do something different. You gotta adapt.
You do indeed, and we got to get down to the stage with Kalaris to hear from Godlike.
That's right, thank you very much, boys. Here I'm with S-Power once again to talk about that first victory, as well as what was going on in Erangel, but I want to focus on Rondo to start things off. Obviously, you guys had great eliminations to start things off over in Neox, and then from the north side of that circle, you looked very controlled, and then when SUG wrapped around, you looked super controlled against them as well. What was the game like from your perspective?
Our perspective was very simple and clear. We'll just play a natural game. We'll play in slow. Basically, we'll play in slow motion. We'll just go with the flow, and we'll try to clear our back as much as we can. And we did it very well. We executed the things very properly. So that's why we could secure the second dinner. Sorry.
Looked fantastic, really did. That's a great start for you guys. If you continue that on, you're basically going to be qualified for the final, so it's looking really good right now. Game 2, of course, wide wrap on towards Stalba or on that east side, but then getting stuck on Stalba can be a little bit difficult there, and it kind of felt like that was the case for you guys. What was it like here from the team as a whole?
We did choke there because we planned
ကိုနိုင်နဲ့ဂိမ်းထဲမှာဘိုက်တာမလာဘူးလေချင်းနေတာဟာမဟုတ်လေကိုကြီးမအားလို့လေချင်းကြီးကိုအားလို့ရှင်တော့လာပါတယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
we are looking forward to the next matches, and hopefully we'll do better comparatively. Yep.
It's looking good for Godlike. Thank you very much for joining me here, S-Power, once again. That is S-Power here, down on the stage, looking awesome here on day 2 of Group B.
ကိုကြီးရဲ့စပိန်မလုပ်ဝေးဘူးလားတဲ့မအားသေးလို့ချင်းကြီးကိုဒီမှာပြိုင်ပွဲပြနေလို့လေလို့ကိုနိုင်တိုင်းကူလာဟာမပြောတော့ဘူးလို့ဘလို့တိုင်းကူလာလဲလက်မလေးလောသွားပြီးပါအောင်ချင်းကြီးကိုလက်မလေးလက်မလေးနဲ့ကိုညီသွားပေးကြပါအောင်ချင်းကြီးကို Đi nào. Đi đúng rồi. Đúng không? Đi được lắm.
해주나요? 차벽 이용해 후보. 공 맞았다.
밸런스 차이가 나 보는 봐.
얘들아 왼쪽 보고 많아. 형 앞에 나무 기절. 나무 중간 나무.
FIFA ဥက္ကရာကိုနိုင်နဲ့ Roma ကိုကြီးတဲ့ screen 1 player 1ဆိုတဲ့ဟာမလုပ်ဘူးလားလို့ပြောတာလေအဲ့ဒါ room လေ
Beni tepe çıkabilir mi?
ဘယ်လိုမျိုးလဲ1 player 1
İkiye olmayacak dedi de şey gelmez oğlum iyi.
ဂိမ်းထဲမှာဖိုက်တာမလာဘူးလေချိန်မိုးနေတာဗျာကိုကြီးဂိမ်းထဲမှာမရှိဘူးလေလို့ screen လွှင့်နေတာလို့
Beni almanız lazım yani. Derken sen alırsın beni tamam mı? Alırım da başından enforce'u çekeyim. Yok kaçıp da bunlar ya direkt. Beni falan yok mu ya? 6x. Nice. Mati marah. Bagi peluru Ren. Udah bisa dapat ya, nggak usah. Di berapa ya NS ya, guys?
Bagian rata 15 NS. Berapa mati 2? Orang mati berapa ya orang? Tadi gua bunuh 1. Mati 2. Oke. Di jamur ada yang mayat, ada mayat di jamur. Iya ya. Gua bunuh NS. Bang teman weh cerita.
ရောက်စီကိုပြောတာနေမှာတဲ့tournament နဲ့
เอารถมั่วไปรับให้ต้องรับ
tournament လား tournament
ระเบิดตายมองกูจะระเบิด
စရင်ပေးထားလားချင်းကြီးကို tournament စရင်ပေးထားလား
เตอร์รอมา
Loving the radio comms and the translation as well, but I'm also loving the PMWC Lucky Spin, which is available now in PUBG Mobile. Co-created with PDP creator Nana, the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, this stunning alien fusion grows out. Log into PUBG Mobile and take your spin before it's gone, like Max has done. I have tried it as well. I'm gonna try it again today because that grows out looks sick.
It is amazing, and it's also glowing. It doesn't look like it right now in the picture, but it does actually glow quite a bit. So it's got some animation. It's themed around PMWC. It's only W's for the skins right now.
And one team that was glowing in that last match was none other than IDA, because IDA, my goodness, this is a squad that also needs to make sure they stay within that range of getting to the top 5, and they were able to do just that, Neptura.
They were indeed really looking forward to
Well,
it.
yeah,
They have
Kalana
coming in off the back of that big win because yeah, they did
UNH
play that very, very
မှာ
well.
ကောင်းဆောင်မယ်
I
လေ
want to
ကို
point
ကြီး
out
ရဲ့
specifically
ကိုကြီးကလန်နာမယ်နဲ့
their smokes coming on in there. We were talking about this again.
အန်လိုက်ပါတော့တယ်စပင်းနဲ့ဟာဘလို့အန်လိုက်ပါတော့ငါစပင်းနဲ့တော့ဝိုင်းကြီးရှုံးနေတာကြားတယ်မသိ
Nice to see them use those smokes against EA when they made that push onto Nongshim. It was a really good performance there to just make sure. And yeah, you're seeing the day 1 versus day 2, night and day. I mean, I think we saw that in game. We could see it very clearly, but night and day on those stats.
အခိုင်ပါတဲ့တောင်းနေပြင် PUBG အကောင်ပေးဦးမလားခုနကပေးဖို့တော့များတယ်ညီတို့ပေးဖို့များတယ်
able to
တောင်းနေ
capitalize
ထပ်ပေး
on
မယ်ညီ
that.
တို့
And I want to give them get them whatever food they want, buy them whatever skin they want in PUBG Mobile, because it's insanity that E-Arena lost that with that much health and utility. Obviously, you know, popping on the zigzag, but was not prepared for that shotgun at the end. And you know what? Having teams that, you know, are creeping their way up from the bottom into these positions, they're locked in.
Yep.
And if you think you're at the top of the leaderboard and you're safe, it's not always the case.
It's definitely not always the case. Between Circle, for us, we're looking at the match ranking here. Teams 9 through 13 were eliminated, Max, which leaves a huge
You see,
opening for
Benny,
those
Benny,
squads
like,
towards
nine.
the bottom, and also for those teams
ဟုတ်တယ်
going
ဗျာ
top
ကို
to
ကြီး
just
ရွှေနေလို့ရှုံး
expand
နေတာ
that
တောင်း
lead.
ပါလေမပြပါနဲ့ဟာမသိငါပြလို့ရှုံးနေတယ်ပဲ
the bottom of the pack, as you just said here, Seven. And because of that, I was expecting Tiamba to just kind of level up their aggression, which they actually did at the very start. They did go for a crash on, I believe it was 721 GS team. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But not on Circle 1 to Circle 2. You know, it's a little bit too early to go for a full commit fight and get instantly eliminated because you're not getting any eliminations, and especially not getting any placement points. So Tiamba, I like the change of mindset, but it's just not at the right time. They need to do the fights when it makes the most sense in these games.
Yeah, I mean, 721 sort of took them down, and that creates like that chain effect at the bottom 3, Max, you know?
Yes.
Giving a little bit of hope to none other than dopeness. They overtook them, put themselves in a good position, got on that north side, didn't scout Nongshim, and, you know, just leaving Kenji and Spigot to sponge some placement. But look, this is how crazy it gets at the lower of the leaderboard.
Was look at the top damage dealers here. I was just speechless by what IDA was able to do there at the end. That solo player, he was even celebrated with the kiss on the forehead, just saying, "Good job, please keep that up. We really need that because if not, then we're not gonna be able to make it to top 5 or even get close." But right now, that's what, with this kind of performances, at least they're putting themselves in that
ထုတ်ပေးတယ်အခါကြာရင်အခါကြာ enemy ထုတ်ပါတကယ်ထုတ်ပါအခါကြာ enemy
end
ထုတ်
up
ပါ
going to survival, which might leave them open to just do whatever they
ကိုကြီးပဲပြစ်လေးဆိုရမနေရတယ်ဟာမပြောတော့ဘူးလို့လောက်ကြပြီ
Right, you want to make sure you are comfortable, ready to go, and ready to get into the next game without too much of an, oh my god, we gotta win this game if we want to succeed. But yeah, really good stuff coming in from there. Also, shout out to EA in that final play. I do want to say EA actually doing a really good job, and I think if it hadn't been for the IDA player, you know, flicking in to get that win, they were isolating IDA really well. They were moving around and trying to control as possible. So shout out to them. It's still a really good game from them. So again, going into the next Erangel, want to see more from them.
Yeah, Arena. Shout out to you, Arena. Right up until the end when you got absolutely smoked.
Okay, yo, the game I'm
One team that has been actually very consistent today, Max, for the first 2 games, which has been a big difference from what we saw yesterday in day 1 for Group B, is none other than
I love the way they play because team early game, mid game, right? They're just trying to get a focus on their position, and especially if you look at this circle finish, western side of Stolber, very northern side. Where do Nongshim Red Force drop? Down in farm split. They go for wide rotation all around the eastern side of
Okay,
Stolber Mountain.
También try join ya. Me no case ya. Like ji ja. Ma pyo do lu. Balo También try no lu.
The players are hiding in those bushes, and at the end, when the teams are at their weakest, they're involved in a fight. They have to rock up. They take the high ground position and get a ton of eliminations. Sure, it's not a win, but Nongshim Red
ကို
Force
ဟစ်
the
ပေးမယ်လို့
macro
ပြောတဲ့
decision
ဟာ
making
အော်အဲ့ကို
is
ပြန်ပြောပြမယ်
just
နော်
next level.
အဲ့ဒါသူ့ကိုမရပါလေလို့ GB ထဲမှာ GB ထဲမှာသူ့ကိုမန်းရှင်းခေါ်ပြီးမေးလိုက်
No,
off camera. He gave me a
As
little
we're looking at the overall ranking for Team Vitality, I mean, they're going to stay up there too. Godlike still performing well. Just let's keep an eye on that gap between Godlike and Ida Esports because it is currently at 12 points. S2G has been able to perform well. They ended up on a 1v1 with Godel.
Yeah, they did.
တရားရေး Vitality ကကျန်းလိုက်တာလို့
I'm on the fence for S2G, honestly, here, Seven.
Same.
Why?
Because yes, they are performing better. Are they performing well? I don't really think so. At least not in that game. I think they were way too slow on that third party. I think they took forever. Once the third party was done, then they took forever to actually push Godlike as well, just giving them so much time to defend.
I mean, especially they only have 12 placement points over the course of what is now 8 games. That's a very low placement point, and the survival time must be abysmal. S2G, you need to get into those late games.
And for this team towards the bottom right now, Lace, I want you to get into your best coaching mentality. How are you going to hype up this teams like Tiamba, ETSH Esports, and Hustler Crew?
I will personally head over to Hot Jukes. I will reach down and grab his left shoe and probably not do much with it because, you know, I might get a complaint. But look, these teams, especially Esh, coming out of that, they had a great position on the high north side. They had about 5 vehicle cover, 7 eliminations, moving on into that zone. And what did they do? EA Arena. They knew that they were there. It's not like there was just kind of a nice flank onto them, but they're struggling with these positions into late game. If they were to have just defended like Arena from behind, it would have been a different story for them. But the passiveness when it comes just specifically to late games from Team Esh is sad.
Yeah, it is sad for them. And for Hustler Crew, honestly, Kalaris, they might need a new pep talk, man.
Yeah, that's going to cost you the big bucks here for PMWC. But I think in Group B, the big bucks has done all the talking. You've got 4
ပြောနေမနေ့ကဝိုင်းကြီးက grand final ကိုရှောင်းဝမ်းမနေရောက်ရလေဟာအဲ့လိုကြီးမမှတ်မိဘူးလေလို့
plays happen each and every time. Been ultra consistent without looking too flashy, I think, has been Horror Esports.
Just swimming along in that pond. They're a big fish at the moment. It is Horror. They're doing fantastically well. Again, so far they've had 2 bad games, like a 15th and a 16th. Where it's not gone well, but we caveat with the fact that if they don't have a bad game like that, it's a top 5 at minimum. They've had multiple thirds, multiple seconds. They've had a strong win yesterday on Erangel. They're just when we look at this, it's nice because that's very promising.
No, definitely, especially since someone like Sky, right, is still currently in that running for a potential MVP spot of this group, I would say in particular. Maybe you can kind of carry that forward into like a final if it does occur. And that said, I feel like the top 5 as a whole, there's a little bit of separation already gathering from the bubble teams just below them. So Horror currently is kind of that boundary. I think that they can stay stalwart in what they've been able to do so far. Good splits and being able to take central positions. And they do control space very well. It's just that actually the very top of this lobby looks so flashy. When those stack levels come in, it's difficult to kind of go up against that.
Like when we were memeing earlier on in the day with Vitality, they had a really greedy 4-man split.
Yeah, they did.
And then we had Arena with their 39-point game. But it just, by contrast, Horror's just chugging along. And I don't think we'll see 39 Elim games. We won't see 4-man splits going to the finals. That's the winning strategy right there.
All right, well, thank you very much, Blank. It is time now to send it over to some of the big boys. Once again, on the caster desk, it's more games here at PMWC.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Blank. Very exciting seeing everyone start to set things up with how it's going here, Dukes. The day, of course, already raging on. 2 of our battlegrounds played out and another spectacular one just on the horizon off the back of what was a monumental clutch. I'm hoping everyone tries to raise the bar of their own individual level to match that.
They're going to need to.
20
That's
how
for
many,
sure,
yeah.
right? I mean, Ida, they did
ကဲ
exactly
mastery
what
လေး
needed
chicken တော့
to
လုပ်လိုက်ကွာ
happen to put them in the running, right, for top 5. They're still not there yet. I mean, there's still more to do. But you know what? Hopefully, they can do it in style. And you guys can do it in style with that new Young Galacticos Champion Ancient Charm set. See if you can get that thing in game. I saw the
အီဂျော
players
ကိုလိုက်
wearing
ကြည့်
it
အောင်ပါငါလည်းပါ
the
တိုင်း
other
လဲလို့
day, and I was like, I want some of that, right? I need some of that in a couple XL.
Oh, yeah, man. If we can get 2 of those up here.
And I mean American, couple XL, right? You know, because otherwise there's like 5 or 6, you know.
Don't worry, we'll get you a tight one that fits nice. We'll get you looking fresh.
Fitted, baby. Straight fitted. And I'll tell you what, Ida are looking fitted to put themselves into that top 5. We'll see if that can happen. The rest of these teams
ကျသားတဝဲမအောင်မရသေးတာ
absolutely insane. There's only 4 matches left here.
Yeah, dude, it's gone by so quick today, especially, right? It feels like we've just whizzed through these games. Well, whizzed, probably rather than rizzed. Some of the players have been risen.
Oh, yes, they have. Yes, they have. They're looking good, man. As here we go into the second Erangel match here for Group B. Let's see if the zone's going to be finally kind here in this game, right? I think we need at least one normal Erangel circle when it comes to this group.
Is that what you want?
Just one.
All right, watch this. You ready?
Yeah.
Wait, you just wait. When you see the zone, you're going to be blown away.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now.
You had the crystal ball when it came to GOAT, right, before. Let's see if Jackie's got it locked in now. If this thing goes to Zarky, I'm going bananas.
ပြောမလို့ကွာအဲ့လောက်ကြောက်လဲ
Just wait, man. The anticipation's all going to be worth it. Trust me, Dukes. It's going to be
ဟိုးမှာဝိုင်းကြီးလောက်ပါအောင်တိုင်းတို့ရေ
All right, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. A lot of these teams are ready for it here. As I'm looking at that top 5 now, that puts me 73 points. That is a huge jump down to 7th place. What is that? 24-point difference. That is a chicken dinner minimum just to catch up, and that's if these teams do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's looking mighty solidified here, but we've seen crazier things happen. That's for sure. As we're going to see Vitality, out towards military base early, as always.
ပြောင်းရေငါတို့ဝိုင်းကြီးအဲ့ဝဲဆင်းတာနော်ဝမ်းမလဲအတူကြီးရလဲအနာပဲခုနကပုံစံမျိုးပဲဟျောင်းကြီး
About that zone, though. All right.
အေးဇုံကတော့ငါတို့ဘက်ပါပြီဟျောင်းကြီး
Could have been way worse, though. That's what I'm saying. But what we're working with here, like 45% water?
It's still a nasty circle. I mean, this is really like one of the worst spots because of the fact that you have to make that bet, right? Like you go to the mainland, you go down to military base, you try to hold that bridge just in case the zone goes another direction. Vitality don't care. Like I said, they've done so much. So many points, they can do whatever they want, you know? But for teams in the mid-pack, it's not good. It isn't, because this is not one of those circles that's like, oh, I got zone blessed and now I'm going to get 30-point game.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to try to make it to endgame here.
You're gambling on it of just like, okay, do we stay there? Do we go back to the mainland? Which one do we pick? We're just going to get stuck on a bridge again?
Ugh. I wouldn't even know if I want a bridge fight. What do you do here? I'm really trying to crunch my brain and think.
လောက်ပါအောင်ကနည်းနည်းပါဝိုင်းကြီးလောက်ပါအောင်
I think the best strategy here is to go in game and get the brand new Naruto skin. I think that is what you're going to do first, right? Get that Ninetales Fury, Og, and that way I'll look good, right? And once I'm going and get that skin, then really think, what do I do in this game?
ကောင်းတော့ခွဲနေပြီ
I get that loot truck from Ifachiki.
တော့ IDA IDA တင်းနေနေတော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီပူချီကီမှာပဲကောင်းတော့တော့ခွဲထားတယ်ဗျ
Because I'm thinking, if the coaches had to tell these teams, Jackie, you have to win the game.
Yeah.
If you want to make it to the finals, it's win the game. Otherwise, just good luck, right? So what do we do here in this
ကောင်း
scenario?
ခွဲက
What
IDA
position-
ကောင်းသွားပြီဗောမင်းခန်းနေတောင်းသွားပြီလား
where
Okay,
would you
Tower,
put your
obviously.
squad in to try and get that 20-point game? You go in mainland, you go in military, you taking bridge. What are you thinking?
I think Camberwell's probably a little bit safer right now to just set up mainland, like you say as well. Like the blessing of the loot trucks right here. If they get something good out of this, I'm sure we'll catch vision at some point of what they actually got, right? You get some high tier loot straight away. You can just coast early game.
တက်သားလုံးနေပြီဟုတ်တယ်လို့တက်သားလုံးနေပြီ
Early
လို့မ
looting
ပြော
time,
တော့
actually
ဘူး
fight a
လို့
bit more with an advantage. I'm thinking it from the angle if they've just got to carry on.
ပြင်း
From
ပြ
where they
မောင်
left
ဘိုး
off.
နေလားလား
Squads like that, so take that Eda mindset of trying to push your limits further. Run some risk break. You get some high tier loot, get in there, start scrapping, see if you can squeeze Elims, bully some of the lobby.
EA နွားမျိုးတွေ
Effectively at this point,
လို့ကားမောင်းမနေနဲ့
you're not really going
တေးမှာပဲမောင်းနေတယ်ဆော့မနေနဲ့ကားအိမ်ပြန်ပြန်မှာပဲဟိုဟိတ်ကားနဲ့တခါပြန်သွားပါလားအိမ်ဟို
You have to, and I think
Yeah,
this is
see
the
it,
game
it,
too
you know,
risky.
Ale.
You know, I think that at a certain point, yeah, I think here it's all
အိမ်
risky.
ပြန်မယ်ဟာ
for
တခါ
sure.
လေးပြန်ကြရှိရမ
Get
ပြန်
into
ဘူး
the Miramar matches, then it's like, all right, maybe we got to play a little conservative just to make sure we don't fall in the bottom three if you're that low. But here is one of those games where you gotta shoot for the moon, right? Try to get that top three finish. I think if you're gonna go for down a spot, I think you go Ferry Pier. That Ferry Pier hill, right behind the gas station. If you take that spot there, it gives you a lot of control of the zone. You can hopefully maybe even catch some third parties. And it looks like Ida, of all teams, is going to take that spot. So they're saying, you know what? We're one of the squads that definitely could make it a top 5. And
ချက်ကိုမောင်းလေးပါလေ
the only one, right? They're the only one.
ကိုမောင်းလေးမှာပဲကမ်နေအောင်မလား
top 5
ID အနေနဲ့ကပြန်ပြီးတော့ပဲကျွန်
do
တော်
that
အနေ
last
နဲ့
game, and they're going to control this
How about
hill,
we
which
go
I
behind
think
it?
is an excellent spot in the zone.
And it works out pretty cerebrally for them as well, right? Because obviously you come in, like you say, get that loot truck, arm yourself a bit earlier, that gets cut out some of the additional time they'd have to waste, sort of slowly slogging along, getting themselves better firepower and ammunition to work with. If they run into another squad, maybe they do just take that encounter head on. It's a good call. It was a great last game, and you could see they were all fired up in celebration as well. Big stage like this, Duke, sometimes the paranoia gets to you.
Yeah, it
But they certainly rise to the occasion, man.
They have rise to the occasion, and they did it in just such insane fashion. A crazy 1v3 to end things up, to get the chicken dinner, the dub, and put them in the running here is so insane. I mean, job's not done yet. I mean, Godlike have been playing phenomenally today. That's going to be a hard one to catch. And we heard it there from the desk, right? Out of all the teams in the top 5, they were talking about Aura, just being like, yeah, I mean, they are consistent. They're up there, but out of all the teams, I think they're the ones that's the most shaky right now, at least when it comes to trying to let Ida catch up to them. So I think if you are Aura, if you're any of the teams in top 5, you obviously want to shut that conversation down right here. But with a circle like this, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
A team that was towards the bottom side coming into the start of the day with 721 GS, but they've rose massively, fighting hearty into these games and still being able to squeeze out a decent number of elims to rise up the ranks. Fair few points between them and slipping back into the bottom. Obviously the surprising factor there, Tianba. Didn't think that's where we'd be seeing them, Jukes.
Oh my gosh, I can't, that's like, for me, the most frustrating thing in this lobby is seeing Tianba in, I mean, I don't even want to say it. I mean, they are in bottom 3 right now. I mean, I don't want to believe it, you know, and in every, if this was any other year, I'd be like, I'm not worried, you know, like, it's Tianba, they're for sure not going to be blah, blah, blah, blah.
Hi, yo. Cause I have blue cars near on baby like
Alpha 7, you know, is making me very scared.
Bye cars near on the maybe I don't know.
I would have put the whole house on saying that Alpha 7 were for sure making a final in 2 international
On its own door now,
events,
A7
and
is
they haven't
also
done that yet. So,
also be just on the door in dome
please
A7.
get it together, please.
Yeah, we need to see some sort of change. Again, that'd be a prime example of a squad that probably could. If they lock in right here, right now, a game like this, right, run the risk. It's not looking great as it is anyway. If you can completely flip that around with a big result, get some points in, bro. The other teams drop down below you. We know they've got the firepower for it, Jigs.
They say no that to my young how they say no oh yeah, I want you show me
For them
they
to
got
even
it down,
be close to bottom 3 is insane, and the fact that they're sitting there right now is wild. I mean, they're not that deep down. I mean, it's only 2 points away from dopeness and about 9 points away from 9th place. So It's not the scariest position to be in, but you know you don't like to see it regardless. Next zone. Let's just see how toxic it's going to be. Are we going to get a crazy shit? Okay, yeah, it does go perfectly up to that mainland. So that bet from Ida, right? I mean, this is the perfect zone shift for them.
It's worked out brilliantly. Opening game plan so far uncontested. Sped up a lot of their looting, found themselves a good position that's still very central as well. 72-1 GS once again. They've been a bit of a dark horse of being able to squeeze eliminations and bully some of the squads that are massively above them in the standings.
Smoke တွေပါခင်းပြီးတော့ပဲပြန်ပြီးတော့
And that little nip make it harder, take out some of these
တပိုက်
players
တော့
so
လုံးနေ
that
တုံး
you
ပဲ
can
ဗျာ
try and
ကောင်းနေရော
climb.
နော်
That's helping not only them, but potentially a few of our other squads as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the teams you got to take out here, guys, right? I mean, at a certain point, I mean, I'm not going to say at a certain point. It's literally this point now. Like
Right now.
The mid teams need to hunt down the top squads. Like, you need to have the coaches should be talking to these mid-pack teams, analyzing their drops. Now, I'm not necessarily saying hot drop, but have a good idea of where they move rotationally. Try to gatekeep them on a try to catch them out on a drive-in somewhere. You got to do something to slow them down because just hoping that they don't perform is just not good enough. You got to make your own luck. You got to find a way to make something happen. Unfortunately for Tianba, they lose a player on rotate. So they're going to be stuck with 3 here in order to get into that end game. And now QZZ gets knocked out by Ida. This is worst case scenario for Tianba. They're going to hold the warehouse here. Not the worst spot. It's one of those spots that you hard commit to. Are they not going to get this res? Oh, brutal. And that just shows the urgency from Ida, right? They're like, we need every single point we can get.
Yeah, that's absolutely hellish for them immediately as well, right? If we're saying these kind of games where, yeah, as much as it's not barren, bottom of the bottle, not feeling like you can completely get back into it, another game goes by, suddenly you're looking at 3 matches left. If they remain in this position with their squad already falling down to only 2, and especially if you're feeding those points to a rising squad like Ida, this can't be happening.
Dude, I'm getting flashbacks, guys, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like remembering Alpha 7 being like, hey, all right, another bad game, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden, boom, they are knocked out. You could just see the look on the players' faces and just not looking too happy at all. Coaches from Young Galacticos are locked in right now. They're in 8th place, 47 points. And again, that is quite a few away from that mid-place position. So yeah, if you're Young Galacticos, you're in the blue zone now. Hunting down some of these squads might be beneficial because you need a ton of eliminations. Let's see if they can find them though, as Dopeness end up battling it out with Team Vitality. Razak throwing the Molotovs in there. Lupa on fire, and he's gonna burn, baby, burn. And that's Dopeness.
ဘာလဲဒီကကောင်းလိုက်လားလို့အဲ့လိုကြီးကောင်းတာကြောက်လွန်တာဗောလို့ Finality အဲ့လို Finality ကအဲ့လိုကြီးကောင်းနေတာကြောက်မပြောတော့ဘူးလို့
Razy goes up top to make sure they can hard flush onto Lufa. No recovery mission, but Nikita has other ideas in mind. Nearly gets up.
ရောက်ထပ်ပြီးတော့သွားပြန်ပြီညီကိုတို့
quick with it. And a buckshot's dispatched.
YG ကလက်ရှိဒီ4 man လိုက်ပဲချင်းညီကိုတို့ Finality ကဖြုတ်ပါတယ်ကွာ
Very quickly falling to the wayside.
ဟောဝမ်းသသိန်းလုံးကြောက်သွားပြန်ပြီလို့
as well. This is a bit surprising though. S2G
ဒီမှာလဲ S2G နောက်တဲ့ player တယောက်တော့နေတယ်ဆိုမှလည်းစမောက်တွေမှာခင်းပြီးတော့ပြန်ဆေးဖို့တော့လုပ်နေတယ်ဗျ
Huge finish for the side of S2G. This is their chance now. S2G's got to go for the win. Godlike getting shut out earlier is perfect for them because they are right there. 4th place, 5th. Not a crazy point gap going up from them. So 75 points is where they're staying. That's the goal to catch up to. Big opportunity. You know Ida saw that. You know Aura saw that. You know Young Galactica saw that. So let's see what they could do in this game. And now with Dopeness getting eliminated earlier, Tianba are like, all right, hey, let's get a good game in here and get out of this bottom 3.
Yeah, exactly. You're not too far off. Couple points. It's only a duo though. That's the scary thing. Need to weaken them early. So that task is way harder. Half as many players to rely on.
Now, yeah, you're just going to see these rotations come out. I mean, S2G need to find themselves a good solidified position, and they do, right? They have a good spot in this next circle, especially if the zone goes up north. Yeah, I think now it's time to play things a little bit slower, slow things down. You got to get to end game if you're S2G. Fights right here are way too dangerous, because if you take a fight, you're getting third party, almost guaranteed. So slow it down a little bit and try to get this win, because that's what you need. You need still a good amount of points here. And if you can get that win now,
ကျွန်တော်ပြန်ဝဲကဘယ်နေ့စမှလဲပြရတယ်15ရက်နေ့လို့ပြောတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုမဝိုင်းကြီးပွဲကြီးလာနေလို့ပေါ့နော်15ရက်နေ့လောက်တော့စမယ်ဗျအဆိုးတာ final ပွဲနဲ့သွားတိုက်မှာဆိုးတာတိုက်လို့
with the application of how they're playing, right? It's kind of what we were saying.
final နေ့နဲ့သွားတိုက်မှာဆိုးတာအခုတော့ရှိရပေါ့
run a few more risks, and taking down Godlike now presents that opportunity to rise.
Let's
see where the zone's going to go on it. Who will get a bit of a gift?
Dead center. Dead center here. So the S2G are still in play here. The duo from Tianba are now going to be in trouble because everyone's going to be crashing in this area. And you can see Vitality are driving right by. Everybody instantly moving on. S2G not happy with just taking that corner side. They want dead central, and they are pushing on up. Vitality now. Oh boy, here comes TT Project, looking to punish them in the shack. Nice shots there from Niaz. And this is some desperation points on the side of TT Project. They need every single one of them.
Sitting inside the vehicles for Vitality is the only play they can make. They quickly heal themselves up and re-peek back through. Razak.
Grenade ဒီပါတော့ကိုင်နာတော့မယ်နောက်တော့ grenade လုံးပြတော့ထည့်လိုက်အောင်မလား
popping off in this very battleground.
ဒီနေ့ချဲလန်လုံးကရှိတာပြတယ်ချဲလန်လုံးကတိုင်းပြိုင်ပွဲပြီးတော့ရှိမယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
just clipping the toes of Niaz as he gets crushed.
ဒီည7 နာရီလောက်လဲကိုကြီးလုံးပေးမှာတော့ချဲလန်လုံးလေးကရှိအောင်မယ်ဗျာတော့ပြောလို့မရသေးဘူး
commit to that recovery. Make sure they get back to free members.
ပုံမှန်တော့ဟိုလိုညနေ9ခွဲဆိုတာရှိရမလို့ပြိုင်ပွဲပြီးတော့ရှိတော့မယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုပြိုင်ပွဲလေးရှိနေလို့
This is the worst case scenario for TT Project. Just Team Vitality said, all right, you know what? Yeah, you guys thought that we were just big chilling. No. If you're going to take us out, you got to do it quick. Now we're going to see Young Galacticos here, just on the move little by little. Ida.
ကျေးဇူးပါဗျာကျေးဇူးပါချင်းကြီးကိုကျေးဇူးပါခင်ဗျာလက်ကြီးမှာတော့ YG ကတော့ 4man alive နဲ့ shut 8မှာတော့ရောက်နေတယ်ဗျ total K point တော့48 point တော့ရှိတယ်
Sure that you get to that end game here. S2G would have 6 eliminations, which is a great start for them. They did lose one player, so they got to start playing very conservative here. They full committed to this position, dead center. They're like, you know what? We're going to hold the dead center, wide out in the open. We're going to secure this shack, have all our vehicles blown up. So they really need to hope that the zone just keeps centering on up to their position.
That's the crew taking down Hyunbin there as they're able to detonate the vehicle. And you can see it's not looking too great health-wise for Nongshim Red Force. They chip damage onto one of them, 2 of the players knocked for now. That's a bit of a spread where you got Wolves nearby, Hustler Crew in position.
Grenade လုံးပြတော့ထည့်လိုက်ပြီဒါဒီဘက်မှာဟိုပလီယာတယောက်တော့နော်အားပြီဆိုတော့အချိန်ဒီမှာတော့အားရဒီဘက်မှာလည်း NG တော့ပလီယာတယောက် NS ပလီယာ2ယောက်တီနော်နေတယ်ဗျဟိုနော်နေတဲ့ပလီယာတယောက်ကိုတော့သွားဆေးဖို့တော့အများဆုံးတော့စူးစမ်းနေတယ်ချင်းကြီးကို
something here to keep NA dreams hopes alive. Wolves having one of the best substitute players on the planet in Juancho. Fortunately, we haven't seen him in the game, but he is here. Over his squad. And hopefully looking to extend their stay here just a little bit longer. 30 points, not nearly out of the danger zone yet. They need a good game to at least solidify them to that survival stage. That survival stage is going to be jam-packed here. Tianba looking like they are going to might be going to it.
တော်ရင်ငါတို့ YG ကြီးတဲ့ဘက်မှာအဲ့တော့ကြာထားတာဟဲ့ရောက်ရင်အဲ့ဒါဆိုရင်တော့ဇုံကငါတို့ဘက်ပါနိုင်တယ်နော်ဟာပြောဒီပါကွာဘာလို့လို့ဇုံကမပါပြန်ဘူးလို့ငါတို့ဘက်ကို
It really does. Zone crunching in once again though, centering up S2G, Hora, and of course the remaining members of Tianba within the area for now. surprised Ida from distance as well when we saw that fight with Wolves and Nonshin, but they were able to steal away one more point just off the back of the encounter. This is Yangon pushing up onto TT Project. Oh, they're trying to get away in the vehicle, but they're running into another team on the hillside. It goes both ways.
Okay, YG တောက်ချောက်ပဲဒီကိုမောင်းလေးကနေပြောပဲတောက်ချောက်တော့ spray နေတယ်ဗျ YG ကောင်းသွားပြီတော့ချင်းကြီးကို
pressure onto these squads.
နောက်မှာ Vitality လမ်းပြီးတော့ပြစ်ထားတော့မယ် A7 ပါလီယာတယောက်တော့ရှိနေသေးတယ်ခင်ဗျ
I'm surprised he even shot that, considering that he's so far out of position in this circle. But now I was wondering
A7 ဟိုတယောက်ထပ်တော့နေတော့မယ်ရှင်းမဘူး
getting a nice shot there onto E Arena. That's
E ပါလီယာနောက်တစ်ယောက်ကလည်းတွေးရတော့ရိုင်းတော့ရှိမနေတော့ဘူးဗျနှစ်ယောက်တီနော်ဒါပြန်တော့ save နိုင်သွားပါအောင်မလား YG K-boy တမတ်တော့စောင်းတော့ရောက်တော့ယူထားပေးနေတယ်ပဲ A7 တသိန်းလုံးတောင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတို့တားရဟို A7 1 man alive တော့ကျန်သေးတယ် E တသိန်းလုံးတောင်းသွားပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတို့
Wolves as well making it so uncomfortable.
တသိန်းလုံးတောင်းသွားခဲ့ပြီဗျ
fair fight, be able to just play it head to head.
ဒီမှာ save လောက်ဟာ
Doesn't work that way. Wolves keep the pressure on A7. 721 GS as
ဟဲ့အောင်ရေ YG နှစ်ယောက်ပဲချန်ပီယံတော့တယ်လို့ save လောက်လည်းရှော့သွားပြီ YG 2 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုတို့
onto Fajita. You got the spam over.
ဒီပါကွာငါလည်းမ GS S2G လေ S2G ကငါလုံးခွဲမျိုးတွေ GS နဲ့ S2G ဒီပဲ YG only လိုက်တီးနေသလားအောက်မှတ်ကတယ်အေးဘေးတွေ
And the Wolves are holding the north side rapid.
A7 ကျန်တဲ့ပါလီယာတယောက် survive တော့လုံးနေတုံးပဲဗျညမှာ smoke တွေပါ KM တူးနေနေရတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့first aid တွေပါပြန်ဖြည့်ပြီးတော့ပဲရှေ့ကိုတက်ဖို့တော့လုံးစူးစမ်းနေရလေးတော့တွေ့နေရတယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုဒီမှာလည်း S2G ရှေ့တော့ရှိနေတုံးပဲတော့ YG နဲ့နဲငယ်လေးတော့ပတယ်လေးတော့ဖြစ်နေတုံးပဲအဲဒီဘက်မှာလည်း YG ကျွန်တော် Romeo အနေနဲ့ရေကိုင်းနဲ့ပဲရှေ့ပတယ်တိုးဖို့တော့စူးစမ်းနေတယ်ဗျကောင်းတယ်ရောက်ရေးဒီမှာဝူတော့ YG ပါလီယာတယောက်ကတော့ထပ်ပြီးတော့နှောက်သွားပြန်ပြီ Romeo 1 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ချင်းကြီးကို Romeo တယောက်ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်ဗျ
Starting to slightly fall, he was hitting some big shots. It could be a detriment to
YG တော့နေတဲ့သူပါလီယာတယောက်ကိုတော့တိုင်ရောက်လို့ပြန် save နေတော့မယ် Romeo စမိုင်းတော့ပြန် save နေသေးတယ်ဗျ
Smokes limited cover, hovercraft still there.
Now we're going to see Ida. 4 players up. They took the most dominant position in this zone early, and it is working out for them. What's even working out for them more is the fact that Godlike's gone, right? Nongshim Red Force are hurt. E Arena is out of here. Hora only have 2 players left, so and those are really the only top 5 that matter.
YG တော့နေစမိုင်းတော့ရောက်လို့တော့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ပဲ save တော့ save ထားသေးတယ်ဗျဒီမှာလည်းတောက်ချောက်တော့ပြစ်ခံနေရတော့မယ် Romeo တော့ရေကားလေးပေါ်တော့ပြန်တော့တက်သွားခဲ့ပြီ
But you still got to walk through it. Team Vitality meanwhile are applying that
တော့ Vitality အနေနဲ့ကလည်းကျွန်တော် YG ရှိတဲ့ဘက်ကိုတော့တောက်ချောက်တော့လမ်းတစ်နေတော့မယ်စမိုင်းဒီဘက်မှာလည်းတောက်ချောက်ကိုပရုံးနေပြီးတော့ပဲကျွန်တော်ပတယ်လေးဝင်တိုးတော့စူးစမ်းနေရလေးတော့တွေ့နေရတယ်ဗျနောက်တစ် granite တစ်လုံးထပ်ပြီးတော့ပဲပြစ်ဖို့တော့စူးစမ်းနေပြီ Smile
Few shots over from Tiamba as well, it seems. Doesn't overcommit onto chucking that one, just gonna belly crawl back through the weeds and see if he can get into a good spot here. Thread the needle with a nade, get it on.
Granite တစ်လုံးလမ်းပြီးတော့ပြစ်တဲ့လိုက်ပဲ Vitality ဟိုးရောက်ရင်မတော့ဘူးရောက်ရင်
to connect onto Federales. Information going both ways as well. The hovercraft coming in from Romeo.
တော့ Vitality အနေနဲ့ကလည်းကျော်ရှိကကားလေးမှာဘာလို့မှပြေးတန်းနေရပဲဟာစမိုင်းကထပ်တော့သွားပါတယ်တဲ့ Romeo ကတောက်ချောက်တော့ပြစ်ခံနေရတယ်ဗျ
Federales looking to go ahead and make a play on a Romeo. Let's see what he can do. Does he have any?
Oh! Oh my God! Whoa!
Through the wall. That is how you get it done.
Incredible elim on that one. But whilst Federales is celebrating, Ida's eyes light up once again. They know their job is not done.
Oh,
Razak takes the heat back over to
Ida. Vitality ကကောင်းတာဟိအောင်ရေ130နဲ့3မှတ်ပါတယ်
play on Rita. They have to tuck in now.
Man, Team Vitality 13 points. Oh, this is tough considering that these are all points everybody else needs. So they are just making this lobby that much harder here, because that's now Nongshim Red Force eliminated. So pretty dud game for our top 5, excluding Team Vitality. Aura still alive with 2, but they haven't done much at all. And with S2G getting 8, this is a good chance. This is a good opportunity, right, for them to just continue to chug along and do a little good game of catch-up.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a bit of a sleeper journey for them today. I mean, 8 elims. Still looking like they've got a lot more to give as well.
ရုံးမရှိဘူးလားဟုတ်တယ်ချင်းကြီးကိုဒီနေ့ကရုံးလေးမရှိသေးလို့ပါချင်းကြီးကို
Next in line to really try and take benefit from the game.
Finally ကကောင်းတာဟဲ့အောင်ကြီးမီးပြေးလိုက်ပါအောင်
Ouch. Man, Team Vitality just crushing dreams non-stop here. They have the craziest day ever yesterday. And now they're just looking to crush the teams of these teams that are trying to desperately make it to the top 5. Rita, it's up to him to make a play on Federalis. Ooh, saw a little pixel. Takes a little pop shot at it. And now, oh, Federalis does get
Finally နှစ်ယောက်လုံးတော့အားခဲ့ပြီ Vitality ကတော့ IDA ကောင်းတော့ကောင်းတယ်ရော
Razak up left for Team Vitality.
Only one player left from Wolves now. Aura set up in the shack. There's the nade coming over. They do get the shots onto him, and the nade misses, so they're fine to survive as a duo with Wolves being taken out of the running. Like you said, Vitality just down to Razak. It won't get any easier.
Vitality နှစ်ယောက်တော့တယ်ဆိုတဲ့အချိန်မှာပြန်တော့စိတ်သွားနိုင်ဦးမလားတော်တော်များ S2G player တယောက်တက်လာပြီဆိုပေမဲ့
It's not an easy gap to close. They're going to get a move on.
ချိန်မှာတော့ GS player တော့ရှိနေတယ်ဗျ GS player 2 man alive ကြည့်ဦး Aura 2 man alive နဲ့ Vitality ကတော့1 man alive ပဲကျန်တော့တယ်
Team Vitality is stealing all of them from you. You need all that you can get because Godlike is out. Aura, they're getting some points on the board as well. So if you're S2G, now's your time.
6ပဲတန်းပြည့်နေ Vitality တယောက်Vitality ကတော့ down သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျ down တော့မ down သေးဘူးတယောက်ချန်သေးတယ်တာယူအော် down သွားပြီချင်းကြီးကိုတော့ Vitality သင်းလုံး down သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျ
They can get back over there and resupply off of the crates that are inside.
အိုင်ကြီးမလွယ်ဘူးတာယူဒီပုံစံတိုင်းဆိုရင်မင်း
GS taking a lot of damage
နောက်ဝဲဆိုရင်တော့မရှက်တိုင်းကိုကြာသွားတော့တယ်
This is just the
Granite တစ်လုံးမှာထားပြီးပျောက်ကျလာရင်လည်းပဲ GS player ခွေးသင်း
Hey, shout
Quay
out to
then,
721 GS though. Great day.
Quay then.
They were in the bottom 3 looking down and out, but they put themselves at least in a running for the survival stage. Actually, they're looking pretty good for the survival stage here. Oleko gonna have to make a play for his team. Does get some sightlines on S2G, but Solke able to make it behind that hail veil and take them out.
And again, that's another point stolen by Ida as well with the shot we saw coming over from Darkin. One of those knocks goes his way, converted into a point.
ဝိုင်းကြီးဘလို့တက်သွားလဲမှတ်မိရမလားလုံးပြမှာပါ
Little bits out of
အေး
this
ဆို
lobby.
ငါစိတ်ညစ်တယ်ဟောင်းကြီး
As we
စိတ်ည
remain
စ်
with
တ
our
ယ်
final 3 squads, Tora down to the 2 players. Ooh, Sky's gonna buckle as well. Instant connection from Emre on the peak up. They're not slowing down, Jukes. They're just getting started.
Yeah, now.
ဟာရှော့ခိုင်းနဲ့ရန်တမ်းပြစ်နေတာဒိုနာဘောအဲ့ဒါကြီး
Teams are like, hey, Aura's that way? Yeah. Let's all focus there first, all right? And then we can deal about it later on because we're the ones trying to get in the top 5. Aura are already there. And now a huge fight.
ဟောဆော့တဲ့စတိုင်းကိုကြည့်
He's got the AWF, baby. Let's
ဟောဆော့တဲ့စတိုင်းကိုကြည့်
But what?
ဒီလိုမျိုးကြီးဆော့
Rita.
ဟိုနဲ့ကတ်ဒီလိုကြီး
We got
ဟောဆော့တဲ့စတိုင်း
shots
ကြီးအားလုံး
here
ပါ
for
အတိုင်း
these players, and Rita just got a haircut.
Short back and
You don't know how
sides
I
for
am.
Rita. Ridiculous, that one didn't connect. The scope attached for max precision. Look at the punch a hole straight through them. As it comes down to 2 teams that are neck and neck towards each other. The rise we've seen from S2G. And an Ida that took that chicken dinner previously and have not slowed down. A slight advantage in terms of the battle of attrition, Jukes. It's a 4 versus 3 on the manpower.
Oh, I know we joked about that missed shot, but that was actually a really brutal miss, considering that if he would have hit that, Rita's gone, and there's no way he's getting res. It would have been a 3v2 situation. So, oh, barely missing. That would actually have been a 3v3, would have evened things up here. So unfortunate for that. Let's see what kind of plays you're going to make. Now you can see Ida just slowly creeping up, pushing their back against the blue zone. And now with that snake play coming into here, one good nade could shut them down. Come on, bust